Mike, did you bite the bullet, or did you create a character in Final Fantasy 14? You gonna do it?
I honestly forgot that was a thing that happened last night.
It was
Wait, did
definitely a
Mike
thing.
buy it?
I mean, it's free. You can
No.
try it. You can play up to like the first expansion for free at this point. You can
Like,
download
you have to pay. You have to pay for the monthly thing, or
not until you get past that expansion point. So you can try out the game up through I think it's the first expansion. I don't know. So it's like it's a good amount of free content if you want to try the game before you have to start paying for it. You can download it on PlayStation, Todd.
no? I know I saw it on there a while ago.
I put a couple hours into it last night. Played a little bit more this morning. It might have its hooks in me. We'll see. We'll see. But anyways, welcome everyone to the Pass Control Podcast, a show where a couple of best friends talk about the latest in video games. The beginning of this episode is probably going to be trash because I just realized my microphone was turned up like crazy. Did I sound loud to you guys?
Sounds a little loud now.
Same to me.
My volume might be up though. Really
Interesting.
nice.
All right. Well,
Dude, why are you yelling?
We're a professional
Stop
show.
yelling.
Welcome to the Pass Control Podcast. I don't know what I just said before. As always, we're just a couple of friends talking about stuff. Joining me this evening, I'm your host, Brendan Groom. This is the worst intro on the planet. I'm just gonna, you know what? I'm fuck it. We're already doing it. We're just doing it. I'm your
Well, do it live.
Mike's face right now. I'm all over the place, Mike.
Have you been kicking back too many Mai Tais? Have you been
No.
having too many
I had a productive day today.
Smoking a doobie?
I had a cider earlier, and I just opened a beer. I'm fine. I just that whole cadence of seeing my microphone was turned up really loud kind of threw off where I was. Anyways, I'm your host, Brendan Groom, and joining me on this lovely Saturday evening is the anime senpai himself, the one, legendary Mr. Cheese, Michael Desir. Mike, how are you doing tonight?
I don't know. You set the bar really low, so I don't know. Around there?
Fair. You know what, Mike? I should have added it tonight. You have so many monikers now. You're the anime senpai. You're Mai Tai Mike, but you're also Total Mayhem Mike. I'm just now realizing this because every time I turn on Xbox and I look, Mike's fucking playing Overwatch. So
That's his. He's always been Total Mayhem Mike.
He always was, but now he's like Total Mayhem Mike is back. Like Mike might not want to admit he plays Overwatch, but every time I turn on my Xbox, Mike is playing Overwatch.
Well, to be fair, Total Mayhem, as long as there's not an event going on, Total Mayhem's in the arcade every other day.
Oh,
So
shit.
realistically, I can pop in, assuming I can get my 9 wins and get my 3 loot boxes. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
We get fucking bi-weekly Mayhem Man. No. If it's every other day, it's 3.5 days out of the week.
I mean, yeah, we can get into the whole thing about does bi-weekly mean twice a week or once every 2 weeks? That's a whole separate discussion. I just liked that Dom has been very silent this entire time, but he looked up while Brendan was struggling with that whole bi-weekly thing. He's just a very silent but knowing shake of the head.
I mean, bi-weekly can mean a couple different things.
But
it's definitely not every other day.
It's really not.
It was definitely not what Brendan did.
I mean, that's just word par for the course here. Oh, Mai Tai Mike is here too. Wow, we have a triple threat. We have Mike had just fucking formed like Voltron on this podcast.
We spent 3 minutes on Brendan stumbling over his words at the beginning.
No.
And now we're spending 10 minutes on all my names.
I mean, we could do a whole episode on you. We could do a whole episode of What's My Name? What is that? Is that an SNL sketch? No, what is that?
Yeah.
It is?
An SNL sketch. Yeah.
Is it from the fucking the Dermot Mulrooney one, or is that something different?
That's something different.
No, it's from Lady Gaga and Justin Timberlake.
Yeah.
Correct? Yeah.
I'll have to watch it after.
Because Lady Gaga, they were both the guests of the sketch game show.
Interesting.
Once I think you should leave pretty much nightly now. By the way, I like go to bed to it every single night.
Can't wait for the next season.
I'm so obsessed with that show.
So that leads us to our next person joining us this evening, Mr. Todd Carey. I don't know. This fucking episode is trash.
Episode's garbage.
This episode is just
At the beginning when Brennan was like, "Oh, you know what? We should start over again," and we didn't. That was actually a mistake.
Yeah.
I mean, we're too deep now. We're almost at 6 minutes, Mike. Because
Wow.
there's nothing people love more than to be driving in their car or, I don't know, on the treadmill, whatever people do when they listen to podcasts. And I'm telling you how long you've been listening to this garbage. I'm reminding you that you could be doing literally anything else with your time.
Anything else? So I just want to quickly mention, I listened to an episode of Conan O'Brien's podcast.
Mhm.
Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend, but the episode that was literally all ads. Did you hear that one?
I don't think I've played that one, no. Is it literally
Okay,
just him
literally-
doing ads?
Yeah,
Like real
you've listened
ads?
to the show before.
Yeah, I've
You've listened
listened.
to him do the show before, right?
Yeah.
So you know how like off the rails his actual ad reads are.
Yes.
So these are the ones that they just could not use. That like
Oh,
they were
that's
literally
actually-
ones they did, and like they go completely off the rails, and they never used them before.
That actually sounds very interesting.
I was surprised how entertaining an episode where they're literally just doing ad reads was.
Do they bleep out the ads?
No, they
Oh, okay.
they show which ones it was. Like, you know how much he used to love saying Magoosh. Like there was definitely a Magoosh ad in there somewhere.
He
Other ones.
his ad reads are hard to skip when you're listening to his regular podcast because it's unless it's like the same one you've kind of already heard, they are entertaining. He always does that same voice though, like I don't know, his old timey
Yeah.
newsman voice.
He's old, yeah.
Uh,
It's a good voice.
it is a good voice. Listen, I fuck with Conan. Anyways, Todd, I don't know, fucking other Overwatch guy. How you doing tonight?
Good, I'm back.
Back better than ever. There he is. Oh yeah, I forgot you were not here for 2 weeks. Well, you're back. Todd was on sabbatical. I don't actually know what that means.
Got the COVID finally.
Sabbatical, just like teacher vacation? What the fuck is sabbatical?
It's like a religious thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it doesn't
Oh, it's
necessarily
religious.
have to do with. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
I
Anyways,
believe I imagine it has a connection to the Sabbath, but I'm not going to put money on that, but it sounds right.
okay. Yeah, I'll take you at face value for that, Mike. And rounding us out tonight is the Disney daddy, Dominic 40. Dom, how are you doing tonight?
I'm here.
Yes, you
Dang.
are.
Let's just roll.
Well, we've
In
been
and out.
rolling.
I like
We already rolled down the hill. We're stuck down here at the bottom. Before we get into tonight's PTC Movie Club episode, a couple of housekeeping things. This episode of the Pass Control Podcast is sponsored by our good friends at Goodnight Fatty. If you're in the Salem, Massachusetts area or the North Shore of Massachusetts on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday evening, you want yourself something hot, something sweet, something tasty, something fresh out of the oven, you can head on down to 1 Washington Square and get yourself a delicious fatty. And if you are unaware of what a fatty is, you can check them out on social media at Goodnight Fatty and educate yourself on these tasty, tasty treats. I feel like I have other things to plug for housekeeping, but fuck it. We're just going to keep going. Well, I guess this is the episode for the PTC Movie Club for July, which was Todd's pick, which is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which we will get to very shortly. But that means that the August pick is right around the corner, Mike. Do you want to tease out the pick here? You want to let the people know what they need to watch?
I didn't put much thought into it. I think the other day I realized I still haven't watched Booksmart. So I was like, yeah, you know what? Maybe I should just do that.
Are we locking it in? We locking in Booksmart hot right now?
Yeah, why not?
All right, there it is. Mike's pick for August. Mark your calendar. Is Booksmart.
Yo, fuck Olivia Wilde. All right.
Wow. Where did this come from?
Yo, she broke Ted Lasso's heart. Come on, I'm always
There you
gonna
go.
stand up for my boy Ted. You know?
There you
Yeah,
go.
but I mean, she's now with who is she with now? Who was the guy? The one that's in that new movie
Harry
with
Styles.
Harry
Styles.
Harry Styles. The movie with Florence Pugh and everything.
Wait, Harry, you couldn't think of Harry Styles, and your way of saying who it was a meism, was a Brendanism, which was that movie with Florence Pugh.
The one
Yeah, I
that
guess.
she's directing.
Yeah, Olivia Wilde's directing the movie, and she met Harry Styles apparently like through that film.
Yeah, apparently it's
Interesting.
like a big feud in that film too. Like Florence Pugh was like the only person that didn't like send anything out on her Instagram. Like she had to like there's like rumors that she had to step in and direct that movie and everything because she was like Olivia Wilde was all over the place and like there's crazy rumors right now for it, and they hate each other basically, is what I've been reading.
Yeah, well, that sounds like fun. I thought you were gonna pick like the ladder or something like, or what the fuck was it called? The lake, the cabin,
Oh, the Lake House.
Lake House.
Oh, I forgot about
shit! You were
What's the
gonna
Lake
do that.
House?
that. Got it.
I mean, the episode's still hot. I mean, you can change it right now. Like the people are listening. They're tuned in. They want to know what Mike has to say.
I mean, we can't. It's on Netflix. We can watch the Lake House on Netflix.
Listen, it's your pick. I also haven't seen Booksmart, and I'm down to watch that movie. So like, I'm wherever Mike's trying to be.
Well, here's the thing. I believe all of my picks so far have been movies I've watched. So to keep that trend, I should just pick the Lake House, right?
Yeah,
That
but
makes
or you
sense.
could bring something new to the table because none of us have seen Booksmart.
Why do you want to pick the Lake House?
I forget why. I think we were talking about Keanu
I
Reeves.
think I think
Oh,
mostly it was just because we wanted Brennan to
to have
try
to guess what it
to
is.
figure out the plot of the
I figure out
House.
what the plot
Yeah.
before seeing it, yeah. Which is still kind of funny to me. All right, well, maybe I'll change my mind by the end of the episode.
I mean, we
See what
could, Mike, we could just come up with like a separate game that we do maybe once a month. In addition to What's the Box, the three of you pick a movie that I have to try to guess certain aspects of it correctly
suss out the
in
plot.
order to get points. I don't know how we would make that
Yeah,
function, but I feel like there's something there. There might be something we could mine out of that idea. So you sticking with Booksmart, or are we going to the cabin in the woods, or whatever the fuck you just said?
Do you want me to do Cabin in the Woods?
No,
do that.
Lakefront.
Which one? The new one?
Do Booksmart. Judging from
I
what
want
I'm
me to
seeing
do
on the
Booksmart.
Lake House.
We're sticking with
I want
Booksmart?
to do Booksmart. We'll do
All right, we're
Booksmart.
sticking with Booksmart. Listen, if we don't pick the Lake Shore Drive at some point, I don't know, maybe I don't know, Mike, just come over. We'll fucking order some fucking food and I'll watch fucking.
There's no way you'd want to watch it.
I mean, I don't want to watch.
Why? I feel like Brennan would like the Lake House.
You think so?
Yeah, Lake House is fine.
Yeah, it's a like a heavy on romance film.
Oh, that's what it was. Because Dom and Mike said that. So that was the other part of it. Dom and Mike said that I only like love stories.
Oh yeah, true.
Which this movie, not a love story.
Yeah, it is.
It's got a
It's
bromance.
It's a bromance.
Oh
Yeah,
shit,
that's
you're right.
Yeah.
Well, maybe if I knew that, maybe if I realized that earlier in the movie, I would have liked it. But before we get into the movie, this is your last chance to walk away. If you haven't watched Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, we are going to talk about the movie from any angle we feel like talking about it. So you will get spoiled on this movie if you have not watched it yet. So now is your last chance to hit skip on this episode and come back at a later
I'm
date.
sure they all left a while ago.
I mean, probably. If
They
you made it
left
through
during
13
the
minutes of
game.
this shit, I mean, again, there are better shows out there. I can name some, but for the sake
Might I
of
recommend that all ads episode of
There
Conan
you go.
O'Brien, which is titled "Oops, All Ads."
that is a perfect name for that episode. Who doesn't love Oops All Berries? Because I fucking do.
I don't care for Captain Crunch in general.
All right, well, Mike, you live in a city that has not only the New England Pirate Museum, but you have a second museum across the street called the Real Pirate Museum. All of a sudden, you don't like fucking pirates?
He's not a pirate. He's an admiral. Well, he's a captain.
He fucking flies a boat, drives a boat,
He's
sails a boat.
he's a captain. He looks like he's part of like an official government navy.
Yeah, so even better, fucking some swashbuckling fucking, sand slashers are gonna hop up in and fucking, take over his boat, give everyone the berries. Oops, all berries. Anyways, this episode is fucking terrible. Let's just move on. Let's just keep going.
Move on.
So as we start off all of these episodes with the movie picks, we will go with the budget and gross. With a budget of $90 million, released in July of 2019, this Quentin Tarantino Sony Pictures Entertainment film had a worldwide gross of, Mike?
What
Was
the
that
budget again?
COVID?
Sorry.
Was that COVID time?
COVID,
No,
COVID
that
is
was
2020.
2020. Okay.
The budget was
Yeah, what was the
90
budget?
million. Rated R film, 2 hours and 41 minutes. Comedy drama.
Yeah, that 90 mil. I'm gonna say.
You know what?
I think it did well.
Well, how about I do this? I don't think we do this normally. I can say what the opening weekend was. That might give you a.
Do you guys want that?
I don't need it. I think I'm gonna. I actually don't know what at all. I know what the Metacritic and the Rotten Tomatoes thing is. I'll say 150 though. I don't know if it did well or not. I can't remember. But I feel like it was like in between. I don't feel like it did like crazy numbers. 'Cause
Okay, so Todd's saying
usually-
150.
Usually, like long movies like this, like people wait to go see them in the theater when they're like almost 3 hours long. But I don't know.
So Todd's sitting at 150. Mike, where are you
I'll say
sitting?
150.
I'm gonna say 200.
200. Dom.
What was the
90 million.
I'm gonna go.
Actually, I feel like 200 is still too. Whatever. I'm gonna stick with 200.
I mean, you can change it, Mike.
Nah, it's fine.
I'm gonna go 250.
250. Well, Mike, you probably should have changed your number because Dom is the closest with a worldwide gross of just over $374 million with an opening weekend of 41 million. So I think in regards to it being rated R, being long, and being a comedy, I feel like comedies don't
I think
usually have
Tarantino's
huge...
name attached to it. It worked in its favor.
Yeah, I mean, it also got
yeah.
Leo and Brad, and at this point, 2019. I mean, I feel like Margot Robbie's also very established, very famous. So, I mean, it does have a
amount of,
very
like,
strong
the amount
lead
of-
cast.
The amount of random actors that are in this movie too, that like we know now but didn't know back then, is kind of funny. Throw
Yeah.
it too. There's a ton of
Is
people in it.
is that a thing for Tarantino? Does he always have like random cameos and stuff, or no? Because there was a lot in this
I mean,
movie.
this is like the biggest cast I think he's ever had in the movie. It's like probably one of the biggest casts he's ever had out of all his movies. But yeah, I mean, he usually likes to bring back people who haven't been working for a while. Like like in this, he brought back what's his name, who died right after this film, Luke Perry from 90210.
Mhm.
You know, he brought back Travolta. He brought back Travolta's career. Who
Travolta
else?
was
I feel like
in
at
this,
the
wasn't
beginning.
No, I'm talking about
No.
like he's.
I feel like at the
always bringing
beginning
back-
he used a lot of ensemble casts,
Yeah.
and then later he was using a lot of like cameo kind of pop-ins.
Yeah, I mean, you three would know better than me. I have now seen, I think this
Two,
is
at least.
my third, because I have seen
Django.
Django and Glorious in this. I don't think I've ever seen anything else. We didn't watch Reservoir Dogs for the show, right?
No.
No.
You know what I didn't
Did you
catch
see
either
either
is
Kill
that-
Bill?
I have never sat down and watched Kill Bills in their entirety. I have seen scenes and sections of those movies, but I've never actually watched them. So I would just say I've never seen them with the very little that I have seen from those movies.
This is like the sixth time watching this movie, and I never realized Sydney Sweeney was in it.
That is honestly, Todd, that is too much. Because I'll tell you
no
right
way.
now,
I love this movie. It's like Amanda's one of her like all-time favorite movies.
I'll
Like,
tell you right
she
now,
like-
out of the three,
yeah, but you don't like good movies.
No,
it
out of the
didn't
three
have Iron Man,
Tarantino
didn't have
movies-
Captain America.
okay. Out of the three Tarantino movies I've watched, this is the third out of those three. Django blows this the fuck out of the water. And
I love Django, but I think this is just a different movie all around. It's not even like
yeah, it's a
I don't
bad
even
movie.
think it's
No, it's a bad movie.
No, it's
like
not.
I think overall
It's-
this is a bad movie.
Are you like watching these movies? Are you on your phone the whole time? Are you playing video games while you're watching?
No,
Like, how do you
I
approach it?
don't dual screen anything ever. I watch
Alright.
the movie and I take notes while I watch the movie because I am trying to be analytical and process and think about stuff.
Says Brennan, who last month straight out told me that he was working out while watching at least one of the movies.
Well, if I'm working out, I'm watching the screen. I'm just lifting weights. I'm not like doing anything else. And if I'm working out through a fucking 2-hour plus movie, I'm just fucking basically doing arm sets while I'm fucking watching the movie.
Wait, who's Austin Butler in this movie?
Tex.
Tex. I was looking up. I'm like, why does Tex
really?
look so familiar?
Didn't even-
Yeah.
didn't even
And I
look
still don't
like
know
him.
why
I
it looks
didn't even
familiar
notice it.
because
He
I only
looked
know Austin Butler for Elvis.
Weird.
he looks like if
Yeah.
you deflated Adam Driver. That's what he looks like to me.
Yeah, but I didn't even know. I would have never even because I'm just like looking at random cast right now, and I wouldn't have guessed that he was Tex. I don't really know.
You've
who he is
watched this
from
movie
recently.
9 fucking times and you don't know
I
who's in
didn't-
it.
I only know who Austin Butler is from the Elvis movie. I've never even heard of the kid before.
So
Like I have no.
Yeah.
hold on. Before we get into this film, off the bat here, I want to say, what is everyone's favorite Tarantino movie? Again, my pool is smaller, but it's by far between those 3 movies Django.
So it's probably this or Pulp Fiction for me.
Okay.
And Django's probably third.
Okay.
Mine was going to be Pulp Fiction.
Okay. Mike.
I feel like I would have to go with one of the Kill Bills.
Okay.
Just
The
because
first
I think
one's
that
so
one-
good.
Yeah. I think that might have been like my first Tarantino film, you know what I mean? So it's just
For either Mike or Dom, is this movie in your top 3 Tarantino films?
I don't know because I don't think I've seen all of Pulp Fiction enough to consider it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've ever seen Reservoir Dogs. So the question is, do
Hateful-
I
have you
have
seen
any
The Hateful
strong
Eight?
feelings? No, I own it. I've been meaning to watch it. I just never get around to it. So the question becomes, how do I feel about Inglourious Bastards? And I don't have any strong opinions about it. I know I've watched it, but I don't remember walking away from it being particularly like, this is a great film.
Yeah.
So I think by default it might end up in my top 3 just because that's just how it shakes out.
Fair. What about you,
This
Dom?
movie's like very similar to Jackie Brown. I don't know if you guys have ever seen Jackie. It's more of like a character study. Like it's not
Yeah.
like action and all this stuff. It's like,
Oh,
it's
let
like-
me remind you of the movie pick we had last month, which was a character study that I loved. Moonlight.
Which one? Oh,
was
see,
2
like
months
Moonlight, like
Oh,
I
2
don't
months
know,
ago,
like
yeah,
Moonlight
you're right.
Moonlight was fine, but like that's a movie I'd never ever want to like watch again. And I feel like I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I don't know. I don't think it was a bad movie. I don't know. Was there something about that movie? I didn't feel like connected to any of the characters in that movie. I felt like
That's
I was
fair.
like living and breathing in this time period in this movie. Like I think like the everything about like
I'm not saying. Go ahead.
like because it's like you have Brad Pitt and Leo in a movie. It's like very hard to like associate them with anything but being like movie stars. And I feel like they embodied these characters from that time period. And for me, that's why like one of the things I like about this movie so much. Like I think it's just like a love letter to old Hollywood, basically. And
So that brings me to my overall problem with this movie, is that you are telling this story that is about these 2 characters. I just wish he told that fucking story. The whole backdrop or set piece or whatever you want to call it of using the Manson family and Sharon Tate murders as like really nothing other than, hey, I'm going to do what I've done in these other 2 movies that you watched, Brendan. Reverse or change or alter the history around it. Where it's like Django is like a, I don't know, not reverse slavery, but like
no, but like
it's like
Inglourious Basterds,
it's like a power fantasy of like of that. It's the same exactly. It's the same thing with Inglourious Basterds, where it's like it's not reverse what's going on there. It's like, okay, but like there's a lot of these, big reverse scenarios of what was
Rewriting
actually going
history,
on.
basically.
Yeah, it's rewriting history, which
Writing history to like make the bad guys suffer.
suffer.
A lot.
Exactly, yes. Which is what happens here, which is not, I'm not
Well, it's also not rewriting history; it's altering history.
altering.
yeah,
Yes.
I wasn't even
Um,
expecting like what they did with this movie. I was like very caught off guard with the first.
But
time I
like
watched
does
this
that
movie, I
like does that make it good? Like so you've watched it 9
no.
times. So you weren't expecting the first time, you know what's happening the next 8 times. Like
yeah, I like love everything about the movie. I love like Tarantino's dialogue is so good. Like, so if you're not into like a dialogue heavy movie at all, then you're not. I see why
please stop
people would
trying to
like-
say that like these are why this movie's great. You don't like those kind of movies because like I do like movies that have heavy dialogue and no action. I'm not saying that those parts of this
But I'm
movie are
talking about,
bad.
like, no, but like I mean, it's like clever. It's like I'm not talking about like your typical like Tarantino's known for like witty, clever dialogue throughout like his movies. That's like his thing. That's always been his thing. Like them talking about Madonna at the beginning of Reservoir Dogs, like all that shit. Like like the holding the watch in his ass in fucking Pulp Fiction, you know, like all that's like what he does. Like he's just fucking has these weird, random, like over the top, ridiculous dialogues throughout all his movies.
Okay.
I don't know. But for me, like this movie, I think like first of all, I think Brad Pitt's like so good in this movie, and I'm not really a big Brad Pitt guy. Like I've kind of been like whatever with Brad Pitt. But I think that like Leo got like fucking hosed in the Academy Awards. I think Leo should have won for this as well too, because I think he's so fucking good.
Who won instead of him?
I don't know. Well, I don't know.
Was he nominated for this?
He was.
I think
believe.
so.
I have
This
it
movie
all
got
up
a
right now.
ton of nominations.
I have it all up right now. It won an Oscar for Best Performance by an Actor in a Supporting Role for Brad Pitt, and it won an Oscar for Best Achievement in Product Design. It was nominated for Best Picture of the Year.
Oh, yes, he was.
Best Achievement in Directing.
Taron Egerton won for Rocket Man.
Yes. Best Performance by Leading Actor, Best Original Screenplay, Best Achievement in Cinematography. So it was nominated for like 9 other Oscars and didn't win. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't think this is the best acting role I've seen Leo in, to be honest. I think it's better. I mean, I just again to put it up against Tarantino, I think he's way better in Django. Like he's way better in that movie.
He was more of a bit part in Django, though. I mean, I don't know that I disagree with you. It's just he wasn't carrying that film.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fair.
I mean, even as like an antagonist, he wasn't even there that long.
Yeah.
Would you argue that he was carrying this film?
I would say so.
Leo? Yeah.
I was probably the most interested in Brad Pitt's storyline because so here again, to go back to my initial point, my biggest problem with this movie is that it is telling the story of 2 fictional people. I forget the character's name, Ricky and Rick Dalton and Cliff Booth. It's telling the story of these people that are fictional. I think Cliff Booth, I was doing a lot of reading about the history that isn't tied to this movie because I don't really know anything about that stuff, the Sharon Tate murders and the Manson family in general. So Cliff Booth is supposedly roughly based on just similar. Oh, I didn't read that.
No, sorry. Yeah, what's Leo's guys based on Burt Reynolds?
Like actually based on him, or just like, or like.
Yeah. He got his inspiration from Burt Reynolds for most of it, but I feel like it also has to do with what's his name, Make My Day guy, Clint Eastwood, because like he had to go and do like spaghetti westerns in Italy and everything. And it's
the story definitely was parallel to Clint Eastwood.
Yeah, but it's not like based on like Clint Eastwood. No, did he act in stuff that was like on that ranch and stuff?
I don't know. I don't know if that ranch is even.
There was
no. The ranch is real.
I briefly looked.
It is real.
Ranch is real. I briefly looked into it. There was a stuntman who did do.
Yes, and that is who Cliff Booth is loosely based on. So basically, all of the people that get fucked up in this movie, the 3 murderers at the end, that Brad Pitt, ends up, and they fucking all those people at the end, Tex and the two women. Those were the people that broke into the house in real life and killed everybody. The guy that flattens the tire at the ranch and Brad Pitt beats the shit out of, that guy is the person that kills the stuntman in real life. But Cliff Booth is not actually that stuntman. There is another stuntman that worked on that ranch. That was like did shows or whatever on that ranch, and that person killed him. So like all of the people that in real life
that makes sense because in the movie it makes it seem like it adds enough tension that you're like is Cliff gonna die right here? Like,
oh dude, that's what I'm saying. Like I thought that the whole time. I'm like,
so it makes sense that would be a point where like history was altered.
Yes.
Yeah. Like I was like, he's fucked. He's on like.
Well, so the other thing. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, no.
I was just gonna say. So the other thing about like, so. Obviously, at some point during the movie, I realized what the movie was about, and I was doing. I didn't watch the movie in one sitting. I split it in half, and I was reading a lot of stuff about like the Manson family in general, and like that whole historics, like the real side of it. And I kind of without spoiling the end of the movie for me, I was trying to figure out, like, I just wanted to read more about the actual history of what happened. And
Fucked up. It's like
it's
really fucked up.
fucking terrible. Which is
Yeah,
like,
it's-
I was actually dreading the end of the movie. I was like, I really don't want to fucking watch. Like, if it's gonna be like fucking gruesome, like killing a pregnant woman, like I don't really
Right.
want to fucking watch this, to be honest. So I am glad that it was not that. But in reality, I think those three people, there might have actually been a fourth person too. So I don't know if that's like who Uma Thurman daughter
Maya Hawk.
Maya Hawk is supposed to be, that leaves, because there is, I think, a fourth one that was a lookout. So maybe that's supposed to be that, and then just fucking dips.
I think yeah, because I only looked into it because like, Maya Hawk, what are you doing here? And I like looked into all that, and I saw that there was a person who was just lookout. They didn't, abscond with the car and leave him there. But
Yeah.
I think she was supposed to be the lookout person.
Yeah. But again, like with at least, again, I was going to ask the three of you if this is like what he does in all of his movies that have some sort of truth behind the fiction, is if it's just like his thing to be like altered history and all of the, quote unquote bad people or whatever it is. I mean, in these three movies that I've seen, they are all fucking terrible people. It's slave owners, Nazis, and murderers.
Inglourious Bastard was the only one that really did, because that was like basing it off of like Hitler and everything, and like how he died a different way and everything and all that stuff. I don't know if he did it in any other films though. Besides,
I
this
think
one.
it's just the three that you just mentioned.
Okay.
Are the
Yeah.
only
Okay.
three that he's done any.
So
That are based off of quote unquote
real
their,
things.
their real life
Yeah.
things that were.
So in reality, I think before they go in the house and murder everybody, there is somebody that is outside walking their dog and gets murdered first. So when I had read that information, knowing that it was like not me reading a synopsis of the movie, but of the actual stuff, and that towards the end of the movie, fucking he's like drinks, smokes that acid cigarette and goes to walk the dog. I'm like, oh, okay, he's gonna get fucking murdered right now. Because here's my big thing to me is, I feel like this movie would have been better for me if they just told a compelling story about Rick and Cliff in that time period, and didn't need to give me the Manson stuff, didn't need to give me the ranch, didn't need to give me altered murder at the end. Like, none of that.
Yeah, I think Sharon Tate's important to the movie though, even though she's in it so little, because like that's what Cliff was striving to be, and like he was watching him be a has-been and them being up and coming, living like right next to him. So that was like so important to like his part of the story, because like
Cliff?
he's like Cliff. I mean,
I think you mean Rick.
Yeah.
Rick.
Rick.
What's it?
But
Rick,
I don't think
it's-
Rick really ever comments or cares about them in the movie.
Oh no, he definitely does. He brings it up. He brings it up like a
Yeah,
couple times.
he doesn't say anything about Sharon. He says he
About
talks
Roman
about
Polanski.
how much he wants to
Yeah.
be in Polanski's
Polanski's a
films,
huge
Yeah.
director. He was like a big,
Yeah,
like,
I mean, I don't know. I think that's
Just
kind of
come
a
off
leap.
Of Rosemary's Baby.
I think that's
I thought
kind
we
of a
were
leap. I think that's kind of a leap to say that that's the importance of having that aspect of the film, is that Rick makes a comment about being wanting to be in a
because
Roman
he was-
Polanski movie.
he was becoming like the nobody in Hollywood, and that Polanski was the up and coming guy who was like the huge deal in Hollywood. So it's like the exact opposite ends of the spectrum, and like
Roman
I don't
Polanski's like in the movie for 2 seconds, and he's also not someone that gets murdered.
no, I'm saying he's not in it for that long, but I'm saying like that's like the whole point of like him living next to like what's it called?
There are
Fucking-
other
yeah.
ways to make that point without using, I don't know, murder history. In my opinion, I just think there are other ways, more compelling ways to show that. Because even that is like, seeing someone else be successful in Rick's career, wavering, can be shown in the other ways that it was shown on the screen. His drinking, him flipping out in his trailer, like there were plenty of other things to like
Yeah,
to
but I
show
think
that.
this goes back to,
His
like,
meeting with Al Pacino, like there are plenty of things that like demonstrate that in the film. I don't think it needs to have really any
But
of
this
that
is like-
other stuff.
This is like I said, this is like Quentin Tarantino's love letter to old Hollywood. So like that's like, of course, like that's like so, though, like Polanski stuff like that is so important to him in this movie, because like this is basically like his. this is like a movie more for Quentin Tarantino than I think it is for his audience. To be honest with you, I feel like this is like a movie he made for himself in some ways. It's
That's a bizarre. I don't understand that. I guess I don't know.
One thing, the Spawn rants made me really want Quentin Tarantino to do a horror movie. I was like, oh man, can we get a horror movie from Quentin Tarantino? Because of like the vibe from that and everything, I was like,
Yeah.
oh
Yeah.
I mean, that's the other
I
thing.
just want him to finish his Star Trek movie.
yeah, right.
That's the other thing to me is like the whole rest of the movie is nothing like that, and then it's a complete tonal shift from that point forward in the movie. Basically, that was a little bit of a break back after he goes to the ranch, I think, and then
I think the point at the ranch is supposed to be the point where you realize, like, oh, this isn't going to play out how history played out. Because it, like, builds up all that tension, and then he just drives away. Like, he shouldn't have gotten out of there.
no,
I think
100%.
That's, like, the point where, like, the viewer... Like, I said to Mike yesterday or the day before, like, that's the point where if I had known more about, like, the history behind this, that I would have been like, oh, so maybe this isn't going to play out the way that history played out.
Yeah, but again, I guess that whole aspect of the movie is just a separate movie. Like, it's not the same thing. Like, it's going from being like this story about Hollywood actor coming towards potentially the end of his career, stunt double, best boy, best friend, whatever. And then all of a sudden they're also gonna like interact with the cult, but also be fucking able to just murder everyone themselves. And now it's just like a weird murder, reverse murder, fucking action scene. It was not like it was a complete shift from what the rest of the movie was, in my opinion. And it just seemed like it didn't need to be a part of the film. That's where my biggest gripe with the movie is. 3/4 of the way through the film, I'm just like, I don't understand what the point of these two stories happening are. I don't understand why they are putting this real person who had horrible things happen to them as a setting and plot device for a story that's about an actor coming to the end of his rope. I don't know.
Because I think
I'm clearly in the minority. The movie did well, won awards, and the three of you seems like the movie. I just was like very confused, and
I think it's just because of the time and point in Hollywood that was such a huge deal to Hollywood. That whole Manson thing. That was like, so it's kind of like throw that story in the middle of that whole thing is I feel like most people, that's like people's favorite part of that movie, which not necessarily my favorite part. Everyone loves that ending. Like, I've seen so many people bitch about this movie, like, yeah, it was all right until it got to the ending and that great scene with fucking, the best thing is when he just holds his fingers up and
the only like, good part of that whole scene is when Brad Pitt's fucking puts up his, like you just said, puts up his gun,
when
fake handgun.
What was your name? He's like, I'm the devil. He's like, nah, it's a lot stupider than that. It's so good.
Yeah,
that whole scene. It's and it's.
He said he was here from the devil. I'm paraphrasing here.
Yeah, it's so good. I mean, there's so many scenes in this movie that I fucking love. I just love like the performances, like the whole scene with Leo and the girl.
And the girl on the front on the set.
So good. Oh my god, it's so good when they're going back and forth, and then when
she asks him about the book, and he's just telling his story as the book,
and everything, and then when he goes back to the trailer and he just has his freak out, and then he comes back and just like nails that scene when he throws her down and everything. I love when she goes back up to him and she's like, "That was the best acting I've ever seen." It's so good. There's so many things like that that I love in this movie.
But you don't like the ending though?
I like the ending. I think the ending's good. I mean, I like the ending because it caught me off guard. I wasn't ready for that ending. Like, I wasn't ready for it's like kind of like I wasn't expecting a revision of that. I was expecting him going to Sharon Tate's house and maybe Cliff might have done something because he was walking his dog or something. I was expecting Cliff to die the whole time. Like I think someone else said that too. I was like, oh, he's fucking gone. He's on acid right now. He's fucking There's no way he's that tough guy anymore. I think the set pieces are so good. yeah, it just has that like feel, like, and like I said, like, it just goes for me. The performances are so fucking good that like I don't look and see Leonardo DiCaprio or Brad Pitt. I fucking see those two characters, and
Yeah.
I fucking it's because I mean I'm me, I'm Mr. Action. I like action movies and shit like that. I like movies like this too, but this for some reason this movie like just hit me. It's like watching The Irishman, because I feel like The Irishman is the same type of movie. It's like a character study, and there's like not a lot happens in The Irishman. It's like 3 hours long of like talking.
Yeah.
And it's like the same as this, and for some reason that movie gravitated with me too. But yeah, yeah, I just it's good. I would tell you to watch what's it call it? The movie I compared it to, Quentin Tarantino, is one of his Jackie Brown. But I feel like if you didn't like this movie, you probably won't like Jackie Brown, because it's like more of the same kind of like very old school. It takes place a certain time period.
I think you're
dialogue,
confusing what I don't like about this movie. What do you think I don't like about this movie?
I still don't.
There's
know
no
what you like
romance.
There is romance. You all said it, that it's with fucking Ricky and Cliff.
Because the only thing you said you didn't like about this, well, not the only thing, the thing you said you didn't like about this movie is the whole Sharon Tate thing. But I feel like
It's such a
that's-
disconnect from the movie for me. It just like
but I feel like she's barely in it. Like that's like that. Whole
I know it seems like a very weird thing to put in this movie. That's my.
Well, I think the movie was built around that. I think like everything else was built like that's what he wanted to do, and that's probably what he had for his idea of like I want to make it involved in like the Sharon Tate murders and Polanski, and then everything else was like built around that. I think, and so I think that was always part of his plan for that movie.
Cool. That doesn't change how I feel about the movie. Like I still think the movie didn't need those aspects. Like the scene that you both just brought up on the front porch with the young woman actress, and he's reading the fucking book. What's the book about? And it's talking about himself basically. And like I like a lot of those scenes where like he's in the bar with Timothy Olyphant and they're sitting down drinking mezcal, having a discussion, and like without even fucking breaking in dialogue, like as he's acting, just like the word line comes out, and it's just like fuck, I pulled me into the scene even though I don't give a fuck about what's happening in this movie, because I'm so confused why I am learning about these two characters who have no relation to Manson or Sharon Tate. They make the oh, I know fucking Bruce or whatever the fuck his name was, George, the blind guy that's on the ranch. George?
Yeah.
I don't know. Who is a real person, who is like, that's the person that owned the ranch. And according to the historical side of it, allegedly they would have, like his cult followers he would make them sleep with that guy so that they could all just stay on the ranch. And that was like the headquarters. It just, it's very hard for me to wrap my head around the movie when this whole set piece part of it and part of the it just didn't need to be there. And I would have rather a movie that is about the same stuff about Ricky's, ending career potentially, like all that other stuff would have been more impactful and more entertaining for me and a better watch if it didn't have this weird, to me, really meaningless connection to real world terrible things. I don't know.
I mean, did Cliff kill his wife? Because I fucking definitely think he killed his wife. Just
I
for that,
heard-
like, one-
That's a
I-
weird
when I
throwaway
was-
thing, yeah. Like that's a weird throwaway
when I was
line when he fights
reading-
Bruce
Oh, no,
Lee.
I thought that was. She was like, "What are we doing out in this boat for these last 4 hours?" And he has like the fucking gun directly pointed at her, and he's like
Yeah.
just sitting there. I'm like, "Oh, he definitely killed her." He's
so-
like,
My brief reading of stuff after I finished the film
Mhm.
was, number one, that's another thing that's based off of like a real person who was suspected of killing his wife and then getting away with it. Blah blah blah. I think it also might have tied into Natalie Wood's.
That was what I was just gonna say. Is that a Natalie Wood parallel?
Yeah. Two
Except
was
Christopher Walken wasn't there.
yeah. Two was, I think, in the novelization of the movie, it is directly stated that he's the one that he killed his wife. He did do it, but he was remorseful about it. And three, I think in the movie, they opted not to do that just so you can kind of make your own conclusion about him, because like if you think he killed his wife, then you think he's like a bad guy and is
Yeah, you're not gonna like him. Yeah.
you're not gonna like him and like he deserves whatever shit happens to him. But if you believe he didn't, then you kind of think of him as like a heroic character, especially towards the end when he kills 2 out of the 3 Manson murderers.
Yeah. Before it gets to the end where Ricky kills the 3rd one, I was taking that scene of like, oh, okay, here's one last time that Ricky's out fucking listening to headphones in the pool and Cliff is taking the danger for him. You know what I mean?
I love how they stopped playing the music from that movie that he was in with the flamethrower. Though he just like comes out. It's so good.
Yeah.
We haven't even talked about the Bruce Lee part too, because I love that scene.
And they made
too,
Bruce Lee look like an asshole, huh?
I know it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah. What's up with that?
Well, that was another thing I quickly, and granted, I did not do a lot of research. This is all just me going on Wikipedia. Because I remember when the movie came out, people were complaining about the portrayal of
his
Bruce
family
Lee.
was. Yeah.
And I was also reading that Bruce Lee was kind of rough with a bunch of stuntmen on movie sets because, like, I don't know, I guess he didn't really know how to hold back. So, like, they were really getting hurt. And I think there were some other things that I'm not going to remember. You don't want me to paraphrase stuff I did not thoroughly vet.
Fair.
But essentially, yeah, they made him look like an asshole, and there might have been, but I'm not saying definitively, some truth to him maybe not being a complete jerk, but like, he might have been difficult to deal with in some capacity.
Yeah. I don't know if I realistically see Cliff beating Bruce Lee in a fucking fight though. Like that scene, I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't know. Here's what I'll say. Within the context of the film, if Bruce Lee said that he could beat Muhammad Ali, I can kind of see Cliff being like, "Come on, guy."
Yeah, because
like
I mean,
specifically with that, I think it's like, okay, yeah, martial arts is cool. I don't know if it would work.
Yeah, exactly. Like he was an old school dude. He's like, yeah, do your kicks and everything. Like he's like, I'll fucking throw you into a car.
Yeah, but again, Bruce Lee. I feel like Dom would probably know the most about Bruce Lee just in general. Didn't you read his biography?
I've read a biography on him. Yeah.
Was he not at the time like the most like? Wasn't he like the top of whatever martial arts? Like, wasn't he like the king of that shit?
Was it just for movies though, or did he actually do like?
No, I think his life was like dedicated to that stuff, right?
He has his own he developed his own form of martial arts.
Yeah, that's why like I'm like no one's beating him up in a fucking fight. I'm sorry, I just don't see that. I don't know, but yeah, I don't know about Bruce Lee enough to be like, yeah, that's a accurate depiction of how he was on set. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say that much, but I will say that as a person who hasn't have to throw a punch in a day in his life and kind of slept walk through all my martial arts training, I can see how martial arts might not translate well into a legitimate row, a little bow with somebody, and it's like.
Yeah, because I mean, Cliff is like
do that.
double his size too, so it's like it depends.
Todd, you've watched Cobra Kai. You should know. You should know that the fucking Cliff ain't standing a chance. Anyways, we never got.
I did like him coming out of that flashback. Like it was essentially that flash. Yeah, that flashback was like him like trying to remember like why the guy hated him. And he came back and he's like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. I did kind of screw them all over.
But we kind of glazed over because I feel like Todd and I kind of went into it right up, like just out of the fucking gate. Did you two like this movie or no? Like overall?
Yeah, it was fine. Yeah, I don't. I'll put it this way. You had asked, if I consider it my top 3 Tarantino films or whatever, I would say that even if it was at the bottom of my rankings of Tarantino films, and I'm not sure that's true, I don't think it might be a case of like, yeah, if I'm just ranking it against these other movies, it's lowest, but I still think it's a good film. So like I feel like I'm taking it from you on top of you ranking it lower. You just didn't like this film. You didn't like it at all, really. Whereas I'm like, yeah, this was actually a fun watch.
Yeah, like for
I
me,
liked it.
the biggest thing is I really do personally think that the whole Sharon Tate stuff of it is just not relevant to the rest of the story happening on the screen, and it didn't need to be there.
I liked it as a backdrop because number one, it kind of set the scene like, okay, it's taking place during these times, and also it just kept me on my toes because I was just thinking, I know how this story ends, and when it flipped on itself, I'm like, oh, all right.
Hey, maybe
Cool.
Polanski's gonna throw him in a movie now. Now that they got to meet him at the end, you know.
Yeah, that
He didn't. Polanski wasn't at the
He
house
didn't
at the
mean
no,
end.
it was not.
I mean, Sharon Tate and everything, but like,
Like I don't know.
is Polanski the one who was like slept with like a minor? Is he? Am I saying it is,
Yeah,
right?
Polanski is not a
Mm-hmm.
good person from the brief
No,
that I read
yeah.
into him. So like that's a whole other part of it. It's like what
He's
are we
another
doing
person
here?
that, like, Hollywood supported for years and years and years, even though knowing this, like people defended him.
Yeah.
Like,
So again, it just
I
seems
think-
kind of like a
I
thing that doesn't
think
need to be
he's-
part of the movie.
I think he's
I mean,
still
if you-
living somewhere. He's
Yeah,
still
he's
alive,
still living.
right?
he's
Yeah.
out of-
He's
out
like
of-
living somewhere, like
Another
away
country.
from
Where
the
they can't
government.
they can't extradite him. So here's what I'll say about that. In that, like I said, I like the whole Marilyn Manson. I was gonna say Marilyn Manson. The whole Manson family thing happened in the background. Sharon Tate's there. Polanski is very not in this. So, given
Yeah.
what we know about Polanski now, you
Probably
kind
for
of
the
needed
best.
him in this film to set it up, but he was essentially a non-character within the film.
Yeah.
He
Nor-
appears briefly, and he's like
Nor was
mentioned-
Charlie.
He has
Yeah,
one
I was
scene.
gonna say,
Yeah,
he's
Charlie
like-
was there for like
I
a
was not
split
expecting that.
second.
I remember when they hired that guy, when he cast him, and I was like, oh, so Manson's going to be a big part in this movie, and then he's in it for like 30 seconds, a minute.
Yeah,
like when
I don't even know
Yeah.
if he's in it for 30 seconds.
No, he
right?
just comes in and
When
says,
he
"Where's
walks into
Terry?"
the house.
Yeah.
Same with Emil Hirsch. He's in it for like a minute too, like with that scene, and then he's like not in it. But
Yeah. I don't know.
wait, did you know? Did you guys realize who all the girls were for the Spawn Ranch? Did you like it's like Sydney Sweeney?
No.
Harley Quinn
What's it
is
called?
there.
Yeah, what's it called? Yeah, it's Kevin Smith's daughter.
Wait, there's 2 Harley Quinns in this movie?
That's right. Yeah. Wait,
Technically, yeah.
Yeah, a real life
Yeah,
Harley Quinn and the
Yep.
actress that plays Harley Quinn.
you know the girl from Girls?
Oh,
She was like-
his daughter's name is Harley Quinn?
Yeah.
I don't think I
Yes.
knew that.
What's the girl from Girls?
Lena Dunham.
She was, yeah,
Dunham's
she's
there.
in
Yeah.
it. Yeah, there was a couple other people too that I was like, oh, wait, where did this? And they were only in it for like a second too.
Margaret
guess I don't know
Qualley,
what-
Dakota Fanning.
I didn't see
Yo, he-
Dakota Fanning. I saw that
Dakota
she was on
Fanning was the
I saw on
one
the cast
was the one in the
With
house, the
dirty-
last person in the
dirty
house.
feet. With
The one that
with
was
the-
protecting George or whatever.
One of the
Oh,
seven.
I didn't-
One of the 7 feet scenes in the movie that Quentin Tarantino has to
Yeah,
have in his
Quentin
movies.
Tarantino loves his feet,
It's,
bro.
I
Like,
don't know.
He
dirty-
loves
dirty
his
feet.
feet.
The girl he picks up is like her feet are like yellow and everything, and then like it shows Dakota Fanning's feet and they're like dirty, gross when she's in the chair, and I'm just like, oh god.
Sharon Tate, when she's watching the
Yeah.
movie, she has her feet up on the. It's like, we get it, dude.
Yeah. I don't know. So now both you and Todd are like, I wasn't unexpected the ending to be that, caught me off guard, whatever. Again, you can still do that without involving like a real event that I just feel like didn't need to be a part of the movie.
See,
I mean,
that- but that
I think you could
that
say the
pulled me
same
in way
thing
more,
about
though.
Inglorious Bastards.
You can say the same thing about a lot of movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think
Where
that
they're,
was
like,
like
connected
more,
to-
what you didn't like is more appealing. Is what made the movie more appealing to me. The part you didn't like, I actually liked that was the backdrop of the movie. Like that was like
Yeah.
part of like.
I think
don't
that
know.
added. I think that backdrop, like that, like I don't want to say backdrop, like that underlying
Because
story.
it feels weird saying it because it's a weird thing to use for a backdrop of
Well,
a movie.
it's not a backdrop. It's an underlining story that is just like sprinkled throughout. It's also the thing that creates tension throughout the film. Like Mike said, you know how that story ends. So throughout the movie, you're like waiting for that story to end.
Yeah. I don't know. It didn't do it for me. So that's where I stand.
mean, I feel like there's
just
a
like
number
bad
of
movies,
films you
it's
can
fine.
think about. Yeah, I think there's a number of films where, you know, you could argue like, oh, you know, you didn't need to do that to get this ending. Like, okay, but that's the choice they made for this movie. And yeah, you don't like it. That's fine. I'm not looking to you for your
Yeah,
taste.
I'm not trying to say that the three of you are wrong. I'm just saying that is like the one of the overall reasons why the movie just didn't fucking stick with me. I honestly thought it was like kind of a shitty thing to pick as how to set the scene, how to put you into this whatever 1960s or wherever the fuck it was. 1960s? I don't know. I think it was 1969.
Yeah, it started in 69. So here is my, I don't know if this is going to be a question per se. So do you oppose films depicting bad events accurately? I don't know how I want to phrase this, because like it seems like you have a problem with them using the Manson murders.
So
let's forget.
Okay. So
like if
so
Todd had picked Zodiac, would you have been upset with
I was
Zodiac?
just
how am I
thinking about
supposed to
Zodiac.
even know
I
what
was
that is?
literally-
I've never seen
I
this
was
movie.
literally
Like
thinking,
what?
I was
No,
just
I'm
thinking
just
the
saying.
same-
Zodiac is about the
because the
Zodiac
movie's-
murders.
I don't know
It's
about
about
the
the
Zodiac
Zodiac
murders.
killer.
I don't follow that.
It's around the same. No, is it around the same time? No, it's
No,
like
I think
10 years later. I think I want to say it's like late 70s, early 80s, maybe.
I mean, he was a prolific
I
serial
think
killer.
the difference can be better illustrated by comparing it with the 3 Tarantino movies that I have watched, because they all do something similar, I think, across the board, except both Django and Inglourious Bastards, the like story of those films is around that altered history, where the story of this film is about Ricky and
Is
fucking
Django based on like anything from like?
it
I know it's
pulls
based,
from
like,
some stuff, but like it's not, I don't think, based on a real person. Right?
I think like that. Getting back to the ending, I think that I didn't need it, but at the same time, it was one of the most satisfying fucking endings. Like I was not like just watching them like not get to murder anyone and them all get like brutally murdered was like so
Again,
satisfying.
I understand that. I do. I'm not trying to say the three of you are wrong or the majority of people that seem to love this film. What I'm simply saying is, with Django and Inglourious Bastards, those two films are telling specific stories. And both of those, I don't know, I haven't seen Inglourious Bastards in a while, but I can say more comfortably with Django, because I watched it more recently, is even knowing kind of what the movie is doing, there were still moments in that film where I was genuinely, surprised at turns in that story and how things were going. And
the big difference between those two movies too is Christoph Waltz fucking carries both of those movies on his back.
well,
Everyone else
fucking
is
give
good.
me a Christoph Waltz in this movie.
No, he's like he literally like is like those movies are fucking great movies. Everyone's great in those movies.
Yeah.
But Christoph Waltz is like on a whole nother level than everyone in those movies.
I think that
So do you want?
No,
Would you
no.
have wanted Sharon Tate to kill all the people?
no, I just
You want to just watch Sharon
if
Tate
if
do
the movie
everything
was
and
about
then-
fucking Sharon Tate, sure, but it's not. It's about Rick and Cliff. The Sharon Tate stuff seems
it's about old
tangential.
Hollywood. Like,
You keep
that's-
saying it's about old Hollywood. They don't mention
Yeah,
other
but-
fucking people. Yeah, they have some cameos for people that are supposed to be random people at parties and stuff. But that's not. They're not telling that story.
They mention a bunch of people from old Hollywood.
But they're not telling a story about
They
any of
mention
that.
how Rick lost roles to Steve McQueen. They mention how
Who else? Yeah, there was other stuff too with fuck. Yeah, they bring up like several, but it's
We
That's
need
why
to
I
move
say,
off
like-
the point of the ending, because it's just going to be nonsense talk for whatever. All I'm saying is it's more clear the things that are happening in Django and Inglourious Bastards and how those things are tied to those movies. I understand, based on the three things that you have said and the three things that the three of you have said, plus the stuff that I've read, how this stuff is incorporated into this film and how it's supposed to piece it together and whatever. I just think, again, overall, this movie is not about that. And that stuff gets
Correct.
weirdly injected into the end in a more full way that, to me, not only for a movie that I wasn't super invested in the story of Rick and Cliff, I wish I was more invested in it. There's no investment at the end because the end isn't even about them. It's
It
just
is. They altered history. Their existence altered history.
okay. So the plot of the movie is altered history. That's what what would happen if these two people existed.
I mean,
That's a boring fucking plot. If that's the point of the movie.
I don't know. It's an Oscar-nominated plot.
Again, there are plenty of Oscar-nominated movies that are fucking terrible. What's the one where fucking Nicolas Cage is a wooden hand? That movie sucks. Pizza Pie. Moonlight. I'm not trying to fucking yuck anyone's yum that liked the movie. I'm not trying to tell you that the three of you were wrong. I'm telling you why I didn't like it.
What
The
were
movie
the other
sucks.
movies that what was the other movies that I picked? It was Wind River. This you would have hated Wind River. I know you would have because of
Todd,
it's
you
just
hate
dark.
that. You like
don't
bad
dark
movies.
No, you just don't like you don't like anything that involves dark. I
The
feel
fuck
like
are you
don't like,
talking about? Moonlight is not a fucking cheery story.
No, but I'm talking about not like that kind of dark. I'm talking about dark like murders and shit like that.
This movie
Wind
wasn't
River's
that. This movie wasn't dark murders. The only
Gross.
part of that was the
Moonlight
end of
won
the
an
movie.
Oscar.
Yeah. The only part of the movie that was like that was the end of the movie, which, again, really didn't feel like it fit the rest of this movie. Complete tone shift. I don't know. That's my take on the movie. Pick better movies. I don't know. Get better taste.
Is
Now
that
than
wrong?
fucking-
you maybe I'm switching it to Lake House. now I'm mad.
Please don't do Lake House.
Okay.
Don't do
Okay, now we're doing Lake House.
Uh,
No, Brennan might actually like Lake House.
I know.
Yeah,
right?
never
I know.
mind. What movie do I like? Let me look at my backlog and let me just think about movies that I've seen.
no,
that I
you
like.
locked in Booksmart, Mike. We're watching Booksmart.
I'm not
Mike,
gonna
pick
lie,
another movie where some historical event is loosely tied into throughout the film. So Brennan just
I
hates the
Bingo,
whole
bango.
movie.
Again,
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is one of my favorite movies I've watched in a long time. It just jives
That's
with me,
fine.
and I get,
That's
and I
fine.
get, and I get
Yeah.
why it wouldn't jive with people.
but I
if
can
you look at
understand why you like the movie. Like, the things you're saying that you like about it, I'm not saying are invalid. Like, I understand those things. I'm just saying, for me, I couldn't fucking get on the train because
And if you look at the user reviews, it's probably one of Quentin Tarantino's lowest user reviews. It's 70%.
Oh, we didn't do that today.
no, because again, off the fucking bat, it was down my throat for hating the ending.
But I will say this, and I'm kind of mad. I love this fucking movie. I love it. I wish I kind of picked Tron Legacy because I feel like Brendan would have been like, "That's the best movie ever." I feel like Brendan would have really, really liked Tron Legacy, and it's probably going to be my
Should
next.
we have
pick.
watched the first Tron first?
I have never watched
No, we're
it.
not
Funsies?
watching that.
If
No,
I
no,
mean,
don't
if
watch-
if
don't even
if
bother with the
if
first
some month we pick Tron Legacy, I'll probably for my own self watch Tron because I've never seen it.
Yeah, but the second one's just fucking. The second one is wildly underappreciated, but there's a big group of people who fucking love the
Big
movie.
group of people that love
Listen,
that movie.
I
also like the movie.
I will say this too. I was actually really looking forward to this movie for two reasons. Because last month we had to watch fucking Moulin Rouge, and I wanted something that I was gonna hopefully be like, hell yeah. And Todd's not gonna believe me. I want to like the movies Todd picks. I really fucking do.
I still have a bone to pick with you with Prisoners because I still think that's one of the
Again,
best movies ever made.
we don't have to rehash all your movies. My problem with Prisoners isn't necessarily about the quality of the film or acting or any of that. It's I personally don't like watching that type of shit.
That's why I don't think you would have liked Wind River because it's kind of not as
Yeah.
drastic as that one. But
Like I will stand by. I think Hereditary is really not that good of a movie, but it also was a movie that was like shit I don't want to watch.
I love that TikTok just confirms with me on a daily basis that that's the greatest horror movie ever made. And
Hereditary?
every movie guy, every movie guy on TikTok is just 10 out of 10. They get
More
to the
than
number
Midsummer.
one.
I thought people say Midsummer's better.
No, no. People like Midsummer, but I don't think people like Midsummer's not really scary because it's scary, but it's not I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, but
Can
I really
quickly
go ahead, get in there.
say, No, can I quickly say I wish that you had not seen Get Out, so that could have been one of my picks. I really wish that was like an option I had at some
That'd be a
point.
cool pick. Yeah.
Well, he probably hasn't seen Us.
Please don't pick that.
Oh,
I really
Yeah,
don't
but
want to watch
I also
that.
didn't care. I really didn't care for Us, so like I
I
wouldn't even
really
bother
like
picking that.
I like that.
Also, Mike, that also has a loose historical
I know.
tie to it.
Again, it's
Yes,
not
it does.
the use of that in a film. It's simply what this movie is trying to tell me. I just feel like it was unnecessary. And again, part of me is also like, it feels like a weird thing to use as a set piece plot device, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Because it's like about a real gruesome thing that happened to a pregnant woman and like 4 other people. Like, it's just a weird thing. Like, yeah,
For what
cool.
it's worth, after
But
for what it's
during
worth,
that time period, but
Tarantino
during
like
that time
showed
period-
the.
Oh,
No, I was gonna say Tarantino showed the scripts.
And they
for
were a
the
fan.
screenplay to like, they were okay with it. Like, they're like,
Yeah.
"Yo, don't do that." I mean,
And-
That was like
and-
such a
and that-
big part of that time
Oh,
period, though.
you know
Like,
what?
that murder was like nothing like that. I don't think nothing like that ever happened during like. So it makes sense that that's like. I know you don't like.
Yeah, no, again, I get it. I read more about the actual history of this stuff than I cared to because I wanted to understand it more and understand if there was more significance to why it was used in this movie. And again, I understand the points you've all made, and I understand what I read online about the reasoning and significance. It's a cultural touchstone. It is it's an important thing that happened in Hollywood, blah, blah, all this stuff. And again, if you look throughout the plot of the movie, all of the real violence that happens in the movie at the end and at the ranch is against people that hurt Hollywood people. In the movies, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. So like, here's the reverse of if these Hollywood people that got murdered got to then beat the shit out of and murder those murderers.
Well, it's funny you say that too because the movie is called Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and I still was like, "Oh,
Oh.
Clint's gonna die," you know, like it's like it's
Yeah.
literally like it's like.
And honestly,
it didn't even click with me.
honestly, I think a better ending would have been if Cliff and Rick or one of them died.
Oh, here we go. All right, no.
But like you
See,
can
like, but I get what you're saying, but that was so what I thought was going to happen that I thought it would have been so dumb if they did that because I was like,
oh no, what I
don't-
thought was going to happen was they were going to like that one of them or both of them was going to die first
Yeah,
and then they were going to go
100%.
kill everyone that dies in real
Yeah,
life.
yeah.
But that's what I
they were
thought
gonna be
was going to
connected- They
happen.
were going to be connected to everything.
Yes.
There was no way I thought anyone was getting out of that okay. And I wouldn't have thought that if he didn't take the acid. But like when he took the acid, I'm like, oh no.
So when he takes
'Cause
the acid, I literally said to Jen, I was like, okay, so like they're going to get super high and like
Yeah.
think that like they're going to witness the murder next door, but think it's not happening because they're super high. And that's what I thought was going to be the end of the movie.
Yeah, I just love. I think that's like both of those two characters, Leo and Brad, are like some of my favorite characters from like fucking any film ever. Like I fucking love them.
Do
Love
I
both.
want to keep burying myself and say more, or do we want to wrap things up? I mean,
Have fun.
If you have something else,
This
say
is
one.
your show, Brendan. If you wanna
it's our show.
get out your fucking
I mean,
just here for the ride.
Well, what did Jen think?
no, not a fan. Was also bored by it. She was definitely more invested towards the end, and I think it was for. She didn't say this to me, but just based on her seeming a little more focused on the movie, because a lot of the beginning she was like on her phone, like didn't care. And I'm not gonna lie, the movie chugs a little bit in parts for me. It was not like really
I like
invested.
it more and more every time I watch it. Like not the end part, like the smaller parts, like the
And
little, like the.
I can't decide if and this is what I was saying before, but I will still say that after. I can't decide if I liked some of the like choices of scene transition where it's like cutting back to other movie footage. Like I can't decide if I like it or not. Like it's like fucking Family Guy, like cutting to like other movies when they're talking about it and stuff. I don't know. I can't decide
I
if
feel like
if
that's part of the course for like Tarantino. I can't think of examples, but I feel like that's something that he just does.
interesting.
He always jumps. He always
Yeah.
jumps. Well, I mean, not so much in like Django, but like in a lot of his earlier films, like
Does-
like
does-
Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction, the
Pulp
whole,
Fiction is literally
the whole
it
film
just
is
jumps-
built around
it
that.
Jumps around.
Okay.
It's like that. He's like the guy that started that in
Does
like movies.
does
like,
Django? I can't remember now.
I don't think it does. Jump
Did
around.
Django? I don't think it does either. And does Django or Inglourious Bastards have a narrator? I know this whole movie didn't have a narrator, but there were points where I think it was Kurt Russell that was narrating.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
weird
he
that
narrated-
they got a
he
narrator
narrated
halfway
and-
through the film.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
Well,
Like, was
I
that to
think
like
he
forward the plot around very quickly? Because again, they transitioned the movie from being somewhat about Ricky's story to then like, all right, Kurt Russell's gonna come in and here's everything that just happened. He goes to Italy, does this, all this stuff, because we're just gonna get to this
I
weird
feel
murder
like
end.
That might have been
So
like
confused.
okay. Full disclosure, going to the film, I had just believed like, oh yeah, this is just a straight retelling of like real events. I wasn't aware of like all the fictional characters involved. But I believe the narrator only really comes in once things
Start to
go
get real.
wildly off course. So once it's
Okay.
like once they're setting up like what we all are to believe to be the Manson family murder, the narrator comes and like, hey, let me set up all this stuff for you guys, so you're all going in thinking, okay, I know how this goes, and it doesn't.
I also
But yes,
wonder
it was
if
weird.
I also wonder if the narrator's not used because that's the point where it gets away from Hollywood.
Yeah.
Wait,
Like,
say
the
that again.
story is. I wonder if the narrator comes in because that's the point where it gets away from Hollywood. Like Rick goes to Italy and it's
Yeah.
telling the story of like everything that happens away from like Hollywood. Like the narrator's being used because we're not in Hollywood anymore. The film is about Hollywood.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I wonder if the
I
narrator
mean, he's
is being used
he's
to like
still there
get us
when they're
back to-
when they're back and explain like where people were when like they were leaving the individual drinking establishments and
Okay,
going back to
okay.
their homes.
Yeah.
But I mean, I like that interpretation of it.
I mean, the other thing I was trying to, because again, for me, there was a lot of this movie where I was trying to figure out, like, okay, I know at this point or at some point that, like, this is about real murders, Sharon Tate murders. Unsure if other people are supposed to be real people or if they're based on people, specifically in regards to like Leo and fucking Brad Pitt's characters. At some point during the movie, I looked it up because I was like, I need to know who's supposed to be real and what's not. Because again, for me, throughout the movie, a big thing was trying to piece together what of this is supposed to be reality and what of this is supposed to not be based on real world events or whatever. So when it gets to the ranch stuff, in the movie has a tonal shift for a lot of different reasons. Obviously, like it's gets a little bit darker. There's a more violence starting to come into the movie. A lot of, I think, real uncertainty about like what exactly is going to happen the rest of this movie. Because again, for me, the movie up to that point is focused more so, if not fully, on Leo's career. Rick. I don't know why I can't fucking remember his name. Ricky?
Rick Dalton.
Rick Dalton, yeah.
Cliff Booth.
And I'm like, okay, so this first half act, whatever of the movie is, movies getting made, TV shows getting made, and those people in those scenes, but also in their real life outside of those scenes, and it's all kind of blending together. And then you get to this part with Brad Pitt's character, Cliff, and he goes to this thing, and it's like, okay, now we're kind of in a scenario where, like, this is still real life within the movie, but it seems like what's going on when he's at the ranch is, like, seems not real. Like, it seems it could be unbelievable, like it could be a movie, but it's what's really happening. So I was trying to figure out if, like, okay, is the point of this supposed to be like we're going from like quote unquote Hollywood to now like real life, but real life so real and ridiculous that it is quotes Hollywood, like it could be a movie. I don't fucking know. That's what my brain was trying to do while I was trying to piece this movie together in my head.
It's just crazy to me how good Quentin Tarantino is at writing characters, because fucking he gets everyone fucking Oscars. Like literally, like everyone is usually like either up for an Oscar in his movies, and they usually win like 90% of the time. I think like Hateful Eight is probably.
You think
the
it's the
only
writing
movie
or you think it's the acting?
I think it's a little bit of both. I don't think these guys are fucking creating this character. I think Tarantino's creating this character, and he's fucking.
Has
right,
Brad
I think it's
Pitt
the
never
writing.
won an Oscar before
That
that?
was his first.
That was his first Oscar.
Robert Forster won for Jackie Brown, which is like Robert Forster's like was at the tail end of his career. Like he didn't really even have much of a career. Who else?
What is Jackie Brown?
It is. Oh man, it's like it's basically like a black exploitation film. Pam Grier's in it, and it's not really, but it was kind of like loosely based on like her style of character that she played, and I forget what the time period was, 70s, 80s.
But is it better than Black Dynamite?
It's not like that. It's not even like comparable to that because it's not like
it's not
serious.
Okay, so like it's like not a black exploitation film.
No, so like it's kind of like it uses elements of that. And
Okay,
he does his own kind of thing with it, but yeah, I don't know. And it's got De Niro. It's got like the cast is great, and like that's just but like Robert Forster plays like the bail bondsman guy in the movie, and he fucking steals a movie. But yeah, but he just brings out the best and all. It's like the same with fucking Travolta. Travolta was a fucking nobody when Pulp Fiction came out. Like his career was so dead that like and then like Pulp Fiction came out, and the guy.
Tell me, Look Who's Talking series didn't fucking bring him back.
I fucking love those movies. So I mean, like you know.
So the other controversial thing that I was gonna say earlier, I'll say it now, so we can fucking move on, and everyone can hate my opinions. Which Jen actually did agree with this opinion in a way, though I don't agree with it to the same extent that she did. So after watching this, I do not think that Leo is a bad actor at all, but I do think he kind of acts the same in a lot of movies.
This is not.
You need to see the movie Aviator first of all, and he got robbed for an Oscar for that movie. He shouldn't have won an Oscar.
I'm not saying he's a bad actor at all.
No.
I like him in movies.
I don't think what's Ethan Gilbert Grape. He should have fucking won an Oscar for. He should have fucking won like the one Oscar he won. It was a good movie, but like it was more like physical acting than acting.
Yeah.
Where I highly recommend The Aviator. It's about I think Hughes, the guy who like created like
Howard
airplanes
Hughes.
and everything. Howard Hughes, and he's fucking incredible in that movie. Like, and it's not like oh that's Leo playing Leo, you know. Like,
so, it's not even saying like that's Leo playing Leo. I mean, maybe that is what I was saying without saying it, but like, I just notice a lot of similar ticks that he does in specific roles. Like, there was a lot of, I think, similar things in scenes with how he delivers lines and stuff where I'm like, oh, okay, I've seen him deliver this same type of thing in Django, in Great Gatsby, like similar. I don't know. Again, it's not a bad thing. I just like it stuck out to me a lot. I was like, I feel like I've just seen him act. Like this is just how he acts. Maybe.
I don't know. I
really
enjoyed.
Yes, it's similar stuff there too. I think.
I really enjoyed the kind of stutter he had when he was not acting, when he was just Rick Dalton. And then you'd see him practicing his lines, so that way when he goes into the scene, he can just nail it.
And that's actually one of the things that made his performance stick out to me, is I feel like he does that type of line delivery in a lot of movies. Which that's when I asked Jen, I was like, is this how he talks? Like, is that why he does this? Because it stuck out to me. I didn't like look up interviews or anything, but she said that she doesn't think that's how he talks normally. But that's like clearly in his fucking acting bag. Like that's he pulls that card out, at least in the movies I've seen. But Jen went on to say, and she's downstairs so she can't defend herself, and we'll just move on, that he peaked when he was like a late teenager.
In Tombstone.
With Basketball Diaries and Marvin's Room. So
guy hasn't made a bad movie. Like fucking like you can't peak that young and make all these amazing movies. Departed, Aviator.
Wait, when did she say he peaked?
I don't know. She said late. I don't know. Though she forget the age.
Pre Titanic.
Basketball Diaries and Marvin's Room.
Those are those are the two movies he made before Titanic, which is like
Yeah.
the best selling film of all
I
time.
don't
Going
fucking
into
know.
like
I've never
a couple
seen
years
either
ago.
of those movies.
I feel like I liked him in Catch Me If You Can.
Yeah, he's great. In that
Again,
movie.
I'm not saying he's a bad actor, and I don't think Jen was either saying he was a bad actor.
No. I see what you're saying. Like the scene where he's doing the scene with the girl like on his lap.
Yes.
That scene is like you could interchange him doing the scene at the table in Django and that scene.
Yes.
It's like the same.
Mhm.
But that might just be his like villain.
Yeah, which again is fine. It was so like
He's not often the villain, so
okay.
Right.
So it was very like caught my attention. Whereas I think there are other actors I could see in different movies and like see a different. Maybe it's more of, and again, it could just be what I've seen of Leo's movies, but it might speak more to maybe his acting range isn't as wide as some other actors in regards to like being able to, you know, like you said, he doesn't play a lot of villains, so maybe his villain acting is, you know,
Yeah.
not as strong as
yeah.
some of his other
Unlike
stuff.
like a Mark Wahlberg who like has
No,
like,
or Ryan Reynolds, who plays Ryan Reynolds in.
I mean,
Everton.
Ryan Reynolds just plays himself, or whatever heightened version of himself that is.
Mark Wahlberg plays the Mark Wahlberg that's in his head in every movie.
I
You're
just plays-
saying he's a transformer?
Mark Wahlberg plays what would be Marky Mark if Marky Mark never went away.
He just plays the idea of Mark Wahlberg that's in his head. Like, oh, this is definitely who I am.
Do you know his brother? Wait, hold on.
Donnie?
Which one?
The one who's married to Jenny McCarthy.
No, his brothers are the ones that are in New Kids on the Block, right? Those are his brothers.
No, just they're friends. Those just, I don't think his.
Donnie was in New Kids.
Yeah, Donnie was in New
Donnie-
Kids. Yeah.
Donnie.
He has like a show on HGTV maybe or something. He has where he like restores old New England homes. Did you know? Did anyone else know that?
Oh, that's amazing though.
Yeah.
Why are all these people having shows on HGTV?
Because it's
You guys
hip
were the ones
thing.
telling me that. You guys were the ones telling me that.
Little John has a
Little
wait.
John has
I
a
told
show,
you
right?
that. I don't know if I told Mike, Dom, and Todd that. Did either of you know that Little John has a fucking
on HGTV.
yes?
No, it's amazing.
Right.
And it's like it doesn't. I haven't watched it. I've seen a commercial for it, but it doesn't seem like a show where it's just like put celebrity here and do thing around it. He seems like he's been doing this for a long time and has a partner that he like designs with and builds homes and stuff. He was very into what was happening on the commercial. I was like, all right, good for Little John. Make that money.
If you look up Leo's films, it's fucking insane. Like dating back to like 90, and like there's very few bad movies the guy's ever made in his life. Like it's insane. Like
Yeah.
I'm looking
He
through
does
everything now.
good
and it's
ones,
like,
yeah.
like Gangs in New York, Revolutionary Road, Inception, fucking Romeo and Juliet, fucking This Boy's Life, which is fucking the most depressing movie ever. You probably read the book in high school, I'm sure some of you have.
I don't know.
Basketball Diaries, Shutter Island, Catch Me If You Can, Django, The Departed, Aviator. It's fucking
Did you see-
insane.
See the movie that he's making with Scorsese right now, Killers of the Flower Moon?
It looks amazing. I can't wait. And it got pushed to 2023, which I'm so
Did it?
pissed.
Brennan, it's based on the creation, the Oklahoma murders and the creation of the FBI.
I know how much you hate that.
Yeah. Sure. I don't know.
Can I just
we
quickly
did.
say-
We picked another movie.
I'm picking Zodiac.
Hold on. Someone picked a fucking movie that was sort of altered history, and I did like that movie.
Was it Grave of the Fireflies?
No, I didn't really like that movie. Black Klansman. Isn't that altered version of that story?
Did someone pick Black Klansman? I think
I
we just.
know.
Oh, did I
know
just
I've
watch that on
seen it,
my
but I don't
own?
think that
Oh,
was-
I must just watch it on my own.
I
then.
think. Yeah.
There's
I
a
like
thing
that
on
movie, but
TikTok-
I think that's also altered history. I don't think it's like fully.
There's
I think it's.
I
I think
think
it's
that-
largely.
You know the scene in Black
It's
Klansman when he's
altered,
like-
but
Yeah, I think
So-
that's
like-
kind of what happened, though, isn't it?
Sort of. I
Yeah,
think.
I think,
I
the
think
bomb
that.
plot thing or like didn't actually happen, but for the most part, the rest of it,
But
broad strokes, happened.
I also think I'm trying to remember because I did read about it
That's
after.
the one with Adam Driver, right?
Yeah.
Black-
Yes. I think.
and Denzel Washington's kid.
Yeah.
At the end of the movie, does he leave the police force? I don't remember. What happens at the end of the movie?
I don't remember either.
He's with the girl at the
I don't-
end.
But does he
I
leave
forget
the
what
police
happens.
force?
I feel like he does. I can't remember though. It's been
So,
a while since I've seen that.
I think there's some. I think the part of it that's a little altered is I think the true story. That guy I think is still a cop. Like I think he stayed a police officer.
There's a video I keep on seeing, and it's like actors actually playing themselves, and it's a scene when he's running down the street, and he's like, when what's his name says like all the racist shit, fucking Kylo Ren.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I forget what he says. He says like there's a couple of lines, and they're like when actors are actually playing themselves, and it's like a thing I've seen on TikTok, and it just shows that clip every fucking time.
Jesus. I don't know. Fucking pick better movies, Todd.
So,
I like
mean,
Marriage
it's-
Story. That's a fucking fucked up, depressed story with no action. That's a good movie.
Yeah, I mean, I like Marriage Story too. I think that made me like Adam Driver even more, because like he's the only good thing about the fucking Star Wars movies is Adam Driver. Adam Driver's just good. Like he's fucking just a good actor.
That's the only part of that movie that I've seen.
Adam
I haven't
Driver.
watched it yet, but I just like that. It was a good impression of Adam Driver.
So I have heard that Adam Driver also is someone that plays the same role and everything because I have watched most of Girls because Jen watched that show and
This is great.
he is just the same character and he is just Kylo Ren. Like he just constantly is like throwing fucking temper tantrums. And I guess kind of in Marriage Story too. I did like that this is I now have another origin story for a GIF on the internet.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. So last
Oh,
week
yeah.
when we were talking, and you had
It
said
might have
something like, "I
it might
think
have
he
been 2
rides
weeks
a
ago,
horse."
but yes, yeah.
Yeah, you
Oh,
said,
no,
"I
it was
think he
last week,
rides a
that
horse." And then I texted Dom and I said, "This is Brendan when he sees Leonardo DiCaprio on a horse," and I sent him the GIF of Leo just going and pointing at the screen. That's
See,
what I
thought
was
you were gonna
doing
say-
last week.
I love the dance where he's like when he's doing the it's like a 2-second thing when he's
Wait,
doing the
that's in
dance
this
where he's
movie
singing.
too? Like there's
What?
another GIF that's pulled from this movie that people use?
There's a bunch, yeah. The one where he's doing that dance where he's like when he's with the two girls next to him on the white screen when he's like singing the song. It's
I'll
like a very small part of the movie.
I'll
Like
have to
I'll
look
send
it
it
up.
to you.
I don't
Yeah.
remember people using that one that much, but I remember the scene you're talking about.
What else does anyone else have to say about this movie? Anything?
I mean, I might have said this already. The only thing I'll say is I enjoy this movie every time I fucking watch it more. Like I was so excited to watch. I watched it when it first came out on demand, and then I made Amanda watch it the next night. And like usually I fucking fall asleep during movies all the time. And
Yeah.
something about this movie, I just really.
Yeah, I don't
I
know.
don't know.
I just like Quentin Tarantino though. Like I honestly, for me personally, like I don't think I've ever seen a movie I don't like from him.
I could see myself actually enjoying this movie more a second time simply because if I were to rewatch it, which I don't foresee myself doing anytime soon, but if I were to rewatch it and not have to be thinking about why the Sharon Tate stuff is connected to the movie and can enjoy the other parts of the movie for what they are, I think I might maybe enjoy it a little bit more. But you were going to say something, Dylan?
I was gonna say I don't know if Margot Robbie has 10 lines as Sharon Tate, but I thought
Right.
she did really good as Sharon Tate of being like, this is like how like carefree and like genuinely nice a person that was
Right,
taken
like when she
from
picks
the
up
world.
the hitchhiker
Yeah,
and then
Yeah.
gives him a
Yeah.
hug and everything. Yeah,
yeah. She like I don't know if she has 10 lines, but like you can like just through her acting, you can see like
Yeah.
Her biggest.
This is
scene
just
at
a
the movie
genuinely
theater,
nice
and, like,
person that
going
was
to the
Yeah.
movie theater. Yeah.
Yeah, the only part of the movie theater scene I didn't understand or fucking well, I mean, I understand because fucking Tarantino is clearly a weird feet person, but like, no one
What?
takes their fucking shoes off in the movie theater, especially not a
dude.
fucking.
Oh, you've never seen that? I've had people fucking like in front of me, and I
We
fucking
know
see
you
their
have
feet.
terrible luck at movie theaters, Todd. No, I've been to many movies. I've
So,
never seen
it's
someone take
also
their
the
fucking
60s.
shoes off.
It's also the 60s though, so
I guess that's fair.
Yeah.
But there was just
Word
so
of
much.
time.
They didn't need to fucking be there. There didn't need to be feet there.
That's like a Tarantino thing.
It's-
Like he's
yeah.
a fucking feet.
It's
No,
like
I
literal-
understand
It's
that,
feet.
but like.
It's the weirdest thing.
I don't
Like
know.
it's like the fucking.
That's the other thing about the connection, I guess, which again I just personally feel like is just an unnecessary thing in this movie. But you have Sharon Tate, who is at this point very young actress, hasn't really had her chance to like fully blow up yet and like have a career. And you have someone, Ricky, who is at the end of his career seemingly. And you have these two people that, are like not replacing each other, but like because of the altered history at the end, his career is coming to an end. Hers gets to, she gets to have a career. You know what I mean? So there's like that aspect of it, I guess.
Oh, there's a theory too that Cliff is actually the son
His character.
of
The guy
son
from
of
Glorious Bastards.
Brad Pitt and Glorious Bastards. There's like a whole theory behind that.
Oh,
Aldo
you
Rain.
know, the other. I sent it to Mike yesterday. There's Tarantino confirmed it, which I still, like Mike said, it like doesn't make sense for him to like make history of other people's characters, but Django is the ancestor of Shaft.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I guess
I'm reading this other thing right now. It says-
Django's wife's name is Broomhilda von Shaft.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm reading something right now. It says huge Tarantino theory reveals Margot Robbie wasn't Sharon Tate. I'm like, what am I? And this is like a recent article from like 4 weeks ago.
That's weird because I believe she's named Sharon
Right.
Tate, like with
Right.
5 characters.
I
do believe I've heard, and I was telling Dom this the other day, like that these movies exist in a shared universe. Like even the cigarette that Rick Dalton promotes during the credits is like the cigarettes that's used in all of Tarantino's films, right? Red something, red
I
apples.
think so.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it could just be references to like his
Could
stuff.
be just
It doesn't
references.
even necessarily be like
it's one of
this-
those things
these
that
are all happening
Yeah,
together.
it's one of those things that it might be kind of like the Pixar shared universe theory where people just kind of tie things together.
Yeah.
But I do like the concept of like in an altered history where there was a slave that went around killing slave owners and Hitler was
Third
killed
Reich
by,
was
I
killed
think,
by
like what was it, a flamethrower in like a movie theater? I forget exactly how that played
That was
out.
the Third Reich. Was Hitler in the theater? I can't remember.
I believe Hitler was killed in that theater towards the.
Is
at
it
end
the
of
same fucking flamethrower that Brad Pitt uses? That fucking Leo uses at the end of this movie?
No, I mean I doubt it because he clearly kept that.
From the, I know it's from that
From
movie.
whatever-
Yeah.
It was
I doubt
it was a similar like setup almost. How he was like standing over a balcony, like shooting flames
Yeah.
down at the.
Yes.
Yeah. So
So it could have been
I
like
like the
that.
idea of them all.
Yeah.
Like a movie portrayal
Of that,
like
yeah.
a loose,
That's actually
I
kind
like
of
the idea
interesting. I
them
like
all
that.
being connected. And it's like,
Yeah.
this is a history. This is a universe where all these bad people met very gruesome ends.
I think earlier we said Rocket Man lead actor beat.
Aaron
I
Egerton.
forgot he won
That was a different year because I still have the tab open. It was
Oh.
actually Joaquin Phoenix for Joker.
Oh,
Um,
I must have clicked the wrong year.
because I
and I
was
think-
scrolling
I think-
through the Oscars for that year, and when I got back up to leading role, I was like, "Wait, did we look at the wrong fucking thing?"
I think he was great in the Joker, but I think Leo. should've
Oh
won
no,
over that role.
Golden Globes. That's what I clicked on by
okay.
accident.
Yeah, so actor in a leading role that year was Joaquin for Joker, Antonio Banderas for Pain and Glory, Leo for this, Adam Driver for Marriage Story, and Jonathan Pryce for The Two Popes. And then
Tarantino lost Best Director to Parasite.
Makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, Parasite. I liked Parasite way more than this.
I like this more, but Parasite was really good, so I get that.
I still have to watch Parasite.
Parasite's very good. I will say though, Parasite is a movie that I don't think I could ever watch again because
Yeah, I
once
get
you
that.
know what happens in the movie, I feel like that journey for the first time is what makes the movie special. Also, I watched Everything Everywhere All at Once. Did I say that before or no?
You said it last
I
week.
feel
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like we did
The movie
talk
was
about it.
good. Whoever hasn't watched it yet should watch it. I don't know if you watched it, Todd. It's fucking very good.
I have. I want to see. I got to watch Memories of a Murder from the guy who did Parasite. Everyone says that's like one of the best movies ever.
Um,
Yeah, no, Everything All at Once is great, and I hope that she's. I feel like at this point front runner for Oscar, and I really hope what's his name from Goonies gets fucking nominated because he's so good in that. Her husband.
I forget his name.
I didn't
though.
realize that was him.
Yeah.
It's him. It's the first movie he's done in like forever. So it's like, and he's so
Yeah, he
good
was
in it.
good.
So everyone's great in it.
Yeah.
Like,
No, the daughter is also really good. I forget what her name is.
I forget her name. She's really. Yeah, I was gonna say. I didn't think I'd like her either. From
She
the first time.
was in the most recent season of The Marvelous Miss Maisel. It was pretty good in that. Actually, she's from in the last 2 seasons.
Oh, that's what
She's pretty good in that. I don't know what else she's in, but she might have been in the Gilmore Girls fucking Netflix reboot. I don't remember. Anyways, anything else to say about this movie?
I think we covered it. Greatest movie of all time.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah,
It's an all right film.
I don't think it's in my top 3, but by the way, I keep like trying to go back
Yeah.
to that.
I don't know what my top 3 would be. Actually, I do. Yeah.
Pulp Fiction and Reservoir Dogs are gonna be in my top 3. So then
I don't think Reservoir Dogs holds up.
I just
I hate
really
to say
I have
it.
to rewatch it then. I
I still think it's.
I'll have to rewatch it.
So
I think like in the grand scheme of things, though.
So there is something actually interesting here. So out of the ones I've seen, I think Django's the best. Todd, you think this is your favorite one, Once Upon a Time?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, it's this or Pulp Fiction.
And Dom
And
said Pulp
Django,
Fiction.
like,
Pulp
Those
Fiction's
3:
probably my
Django,
favorite,
Once Upon a Time, and Pulp are my like 3.
And Mike
that,
said
like-
potentially Kill Bill.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so out of Kill Bill and Pulp Fiction, someone has got to pick one of those movies soon because I apparently need to watch one of those movies.
You know what my problem with Kill Bill is that the first movie I think is a flawless movie. I'm not a huge fan of the second part.
Are there
I think
3
the
or
second
2?
part- There's 2.
It's 2.
I think the first one's flawless. I think the second one's still great, but it's not nowhere near as good as the first one. And
All
it's
right.
kind of a letdown.
This is what we're doing. Next year is the 20th anniversary of Kill Bill.
Perfect.
So we'll do
There you
Kill
go.
Bill. We'll do a little Kill Bill fucking episode.
Same way
Haven't
we
watched
did
it in a
for Godfather this
The
year.
year's not over yet. The year's not over. We have plenty of time. Yeah, I don't know. Movie's fine. I'm curious to see what Todd picks next, though. I'm curious to see. What was your pick before this? What was your last pick, Todd?
Gross Point
Swingers?
Blank. What do you mean? I keep on trying to pick movies.
Oh, Gross
that,
Point
like,
Blank.
So there's like movies that I would pick.
I
There's movies that I would pick, and then Donnie Darko. You didn't like Donnie Darko.
Yes, I did.
Oh, you did. Okay.
Yeah.
What else?
I think my opinion of Donnie Darko over the course of us talking about it got even better. Like I might have been a little more lukewarm on it at the beginning of the episode, but
Yeah, I feel
talking
like
about
that's a
that more.
multiple viewing movie too.
Yeah,
Like, that's
yeah.
like one of those ones. Like you just
Yeah,
pick
plus
up
you
on
got to
little
watch
stuff.
fucking Return to Darko, whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah,
Camp
S.
Darko.
Darko.
S. Darko.
Darko.
There we go. There we go. Yeah, I don't know. Gross Point Blank was fine. I don't know. It's kind of whatever. I like Swingers better.
Gross
Swingers
Point
is one of
Blank
your best picks.
You know what? I wanted to pick Adventures in Babysitting this time, and I feel like everyone would have hated me if I picked that movie. But still,
I mean, I don't know. Just, everyone should pick fucking movies that they want to watch. Yeah.
I keep on trying to pick movies that none of you guys have seen because I feel like I have so many movies.
That's
I
what
want
I'm
you
gonna
guys
keep
to
doing.
watch.
I'm gonna keep doing
Like,
stuff I haven't
like-
seen.
Because I have so many picks that, like, even if you've already seen a bunch of my favorites, like Drive and Silver Linings Playbook are 2 of my favorite movies ever. But like, I know
Someone,
that everyone's
I
already,
think we've all seen Drive.
yeah, and everyone's seen Silver
Yeah,
Linings
I think
Playbook.
so.
I'm assuming too.
I have not, but I'm also
Oh.
not.
When's the last time you rewatched that movie, Todd?
I watch it all the time.
When's the last time you
I feel like-
rewatched it though?
Probably about a year ago.
Oh, wow, and you still liked it?
Oh yeah, I love it. It's
I
like a
I
good
put it
comfort
on
food
like
movie.
a few months ago, and I was like, I don't know if I want to rewatch this right now.
You
I
know
probably
what it
got
is
like
with that
halfway
movie?
through the movie, and I was like, I don't
You know
know.
what it is that movie, and like I feel like I like that movie. My love is for the characters. Like I even love De Niro in that movie. Like I love
Yeah.
everyone in that movie. I love the ending, and it's like just like your typical like it's like a rom com basically, and it goes rom com ways. Like and it's like it works.
Yo, that's
so in,
my
like, a
bread
good
and
way.
butter right there.
Yeah, right.
Someone the other day told me to watch Baby Driver. I've never seen that.
I did not hate Baby Driver. There's some everyone was like it has the best soundtrack ever, and the soundtrack didn't work for me.
Yeah.
They get all.
That movie's
Maybe
very
that was
music
fine, though.
focused, right? Doesn't the guy
Yeah.
drive with like a playlist or something?
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Well, since we
It's
are
got my boy John Bernthal. John Bernthal, anything he's in, I'll support. So
Mike, what'd you decide for a movie?
What happened?
What'd
Sorry,
you
what?
decide for a movie?
Oh, I guess we're sticking with Booksmart.
Are you sticking with Booksmart? All right.
I mean, if you want to change it, Mike, change it now.
Mike, pick
Yeah.
Moonstruck. Go with Moonstruck.
Nobody wants to watch Moonstruck. It's a really fucking bad movie.
I think Booksmart is streaming on Hulu.
I think it is
Yes.
too, actually. All right, so Booksmart, we'll watch that for the month of August. Listen, Mike, you're kind of in a sort of topical because end of August, back to school. I'm assuming this is about school. Oh, I'll do this real quick since I don't really know. I know minimal about the movie. I think I've heard it described before as super bad but girls.
Bad, but girls. I knew you were
So
gonna say that.
I don't know. I guess maybe I know too much about the movie if that's an accurate like broad stroke description of it. To actually no, because the plot of Superbad would be what? They want to get laid. What is the plot of Superbad?
Like Booksmart's about like
Yes.
two girls that have spent their whole high school like being like.
Wait, you know what the movie's about?
Yeah, I've seen.
Oh wait, shut the fuck up.
Oh, okay, never mind. All right. Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say what I think the movie's about.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that's where you were going. There you go. There's your opening.
Yeah,
right
I don't know. I honestly I don't even know what you just said. I just heard you start saying this is what the movie's about, and I just like blacked out. I don't know. It's about a group of girls. I think it's two girls.
I like Jonah Hill's sister. I think Jonah Hill's sister is like a great actress. Beanie Feldstein or whatever her name is.
I don't know who the fuck that is. Is she one of the main girls in the movie?
Yeah. Yep. If you look at her, you'll be like, "Oh my god, that's Jonah Hill's sister." Once it clicks, you'll like.
Based on the fact that the title is Booksmart and it's about, I'm assuming, high school girls that are smart, and like because like the term book smart is usually like, oh, they're book smart, but they're not street smart. So like they're gonna be finding themselves in scenarios that maybe people who are more invested in their studies wouldn't find themselves in, and it's gonna lead to some hijinks, maybe some alcohol, maybe some weird sex scenarios. I don't know.
I feel like it's an Olivia Wilde directed film, so there's definitely gonna be some weird sex shit in it.
Oh, is that a thing? I don't even know.
It's her first movie that she directed. So, and it's like, oh, it's.
I
very
know
well
her
received.
her Harry Styles movie apparently opens with them banging.
Oh
it,
yeah.
so-
Oh, right.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I don't know. I don't for an overarching plot. I don't know. Are they graduating and they're like, I don't want to go to college without drinking before. I don't know.
Fuck it, 2 weeks left.
Exactly. Fuck it. 2 weeks left. And we'll just leave
Drilling
it at that.
holes.
So before we wrap things up, since it's a movie episode, we will end with not what's in the box, but the movie game that we don't have a title for. So if you're new to the show or you're a listener of the show, but you haven't listened to us do the movie game before, it is sort of similar to what's in the box, and the points will go into the overall score, but the point scoring system is a little bit different for this game, where there are tiered points. So this is a good episode for any one of you to either pull further ahead or catch up to Dom. The scoreboard as it stands, Dom is at 42, Todd is at 31, and Mike is at 23, and then we got a bunch of delicious guest points. The closest being Jesse and Ken with 11 and 10.
Did I get fucked for like the last 2 weeks? I'm sure I got fucked over.
I mean,
Yeah.
you missed 6 points, but I think the points got a little evenly distributed. So,
I don't think so. I think Dom got most of them.
no, you at least got 2 right, Mike. I think.
Okay, out of six possible
Yeah,
points,
so
me getting
so
two
you
is-
bumped up 2 and Dom went up 4. But that's the beauty of movie week is that for these, it's tiered points. So if you get it on the first tier, you're going to get 3 points. If you're going to get it on the second tier, I guess we'll name it. If you get it at tier 3, you'll get 3 points. Tier 2, 2 points, etc. Obviously, the lower point tiers mean you have been revealed more information. So we will start with minimal information. Everyone can guess freely. And when everyone agrees to move down a tier, we will continue to do that. Movie number 1. Released in, actually, I sorry, I wanted the rating for this movie, and I need to make sure I have the correct rating because I just guessed. Let me just double check. Okay. Movie number 1, released and for the tier 3, you do not get the date, you just get the year. Released in 2015, this movie had a budget of $135 million. Do I give you gross on this tier? I feel like I gave you one more bit of information. I just don't know what part it is.
I don't remember what it was.
Is it rating?
I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like it's
Maybe.
What is the fairest way to break this down? We'll just discuss it as a group. So I think year and budget and one other thing. You want gross or do you want rating?
Either or, it doesn't matter. I mean, I feel like
we'll
it's gonna
do
be tough
rating.
regardless.
Sorry, we'll do gross. The top tier will be year, budget, and gross, and then more will come from that. So, 2015, a budget of $135 million, and a gross of $533 million.
So what we've established is that this movie came out in 2015 and it did well.
And if you do guess correctly here, you will be awarded 3 points.
What is
2015?
The Dark Knight?
Incorrect.
Dark Knight was 2008.
Oh, was it really? I was like,
yeah.
I was like trying to think back to when that movie came out. I figured I was a little off.
Dark Knight was 2008. Dark Knight Rises was 2012.
Oh man, how do you remember that?
Those are like a few movies that I kind of keep track of.
It sounds awful, but I think Brendan was with me when we saw Dark Knight
Yes.
at like IMAX, and it was
Yeah.
the day after the shooting, and we were standing in line like all paranoid, and we were just like fucking like, and all the security guards were standing like when we walked into Jordan's IMAX. It was fucking weird.
that killed the midnight release. Let me tell you that.
Absolutely, yeah, right.
Hold on. 2015. I want to say Age of Ultron might have been the year before. I don't know if this would be a Marvel film, but if
Budget
it were...
of 135. Go ahead.
Off of that budget. I mean, the gross. He gave gross, didn't he? He said like 3 something. That's no way. It's like Age of Ultron.
533.
Yeah.
No, it's five. Oh, well,
Yeah,
30 something?
533. It was a
That's-
budget of $135 million and a gross of just over $533 million. Or it might have been like 532 and high change. So about 533. That rogue million, or that rogue couple 100,000 is not going to change.
We only get one guess per thing, right?
I mean, you can't go bonker town, but like if you have another guess, I mean, you want to throw it out there.
No, I don't have one yet, but I'm just curious. I don't want to like.
Hold on a second. The only thing I
I think what we might have did last time was you get 3 guesses per tier.
Sounds right.
Yeah.
Force Awakens.
Incorrect.
What'd you say?
Force Awakens. So far, the guesses have been
That was
Force
later.
Awakens,
I
Dark
don't think
Knight.
so. 19 would have been the third one, right? 19, 17, 15?
I think they weren't. Oh, maybe. Actually, yeah.
I
think
got
that
another
did work
guess.
out, maybe.
Ant-Man.
Incorrect.
What year was Ant-Man like? Come on, I need you for these dates.
Ant-Man 2016, maybe.
Oh, so I was close. Okay.
You were close. I'm guessing that one. I can't
Yeah.
quite place. I'm trying to remember when the last Harry Potter film would have come out. I think that would have been
Earlier than
11.
way earlier.
I think we were still in
2011,
high school, Mike, weren't we?
No.
The last film? No. I don't
Oh, the
remember.
last book definitely came out in high school because I drove
The
you
last
to Barnes
book
and
came out in high
Nobles.
school.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like 35, so you guys were probably freshmen in high school.
Yeah, I was
I-
still in diapers.
I explicitly remember that night driving to the Route 1 Barnes and Nobles, one specific thing. At some point in the car, I think I said, because I did not give a fuck about Harry Potter, nor really do I give a fuck about books. I remember turning to Mike and saying, "Oh shit, I get to cross off go to a midnight release of a book."
I actually read that when it came out, and I was fucking way too old. I actually loved it. Harry Potter was great. Fuck the haters.
Okay,
I mean, I think
so
people have some stuff that they are very justified in not liking.
Yeah, I mean, like obviously her, but like
Yeah, but doesn't the book have a lot of like anti-Semitic stuff written into it, and maybe
Uh,
other stuff?
I
mean,
think
I'm too dumb.
yes,
I'm too dumb to understand that stuff. So like,
but
it's for
yes.
me, like it's not there.
Yeah.
But like, I get it.
Yeah,
We don't need to
I
go on
think-
this whole
I
tangent.
think you're right.
but-
I'm in line with Todd. Where like, yeah, if you spell it out for me in that one, like,
It's-
okay, I can see that relation, but I'm not going to pick it up.
I think the place that Harry Potter stands in currently is that for a lot of people, the books are a big part of their life. They read them, they love them, whatever. They enjoy that fandom. I think the bigger issue is less about maybe some of the stuff that people have mined out of the books and more of the stuff that J.K. Rowling does and says now. And I think that's the... Anyways. Any other guesses for this
Okay,
tier?
so yeah, let me just throw out because I'm not with the information that we have. I'm definitely not just gonna pick a fucking thing out of my hat. 2014. Let me say Interstellar.
Incorrect.
Good guess.
Didn't we decide
I won't-
20? Isn't it 2015?
It is
I
2015.
already forget the year too.
It is
I already
2015.
forgot. It doesn't fucking matter.
So Mike has, Dom has 2 left. Todd has 1 left. Did you actually guess a movie first, Mike? I don't remember.
No, I was trying
Saying
to
stuff
work
out loud.
out what movies
Yeah.
I thought had come out during that year, that time frame.
3 points here. This would be a big jump for somebody.
I have my one last guess, but if someone else wants to go before me, they can. It's up to you guys.
No.
2015, 135, 533.
John Wick.
Incorrect. That John Wick's that old?
I think John Wick might have been
It might
2014.
be
To
older.
be honest.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Wow.
I was gonna say
Did the
John Wick
second
2,
movie
but
not come out for a long time or something?
like 2 years
Actually,
after. I wanna say.
Or I came to these movies much
Actually, you
later.
might be right.
So
I think you're right. I think John Wick 1 would have been 2015, and then maybe the next one 2017.
Yeah, it was like 2 years later, and then 3 was like 2 or 3 years later. 20.
I
Yeah,
can't fucking wait for the next movie.
2010.
It looks so good. That trailer's so good.
I can't fucking wait.
And it's got what's his name in it? The Ip Man. Fucking
Yeah. You remember his name?
yeah. It's gonna be
Donnie Yen.
amazing. So yes, it's gonna be amazing.
25th.
He's the one from Rogue One, right?
I was
The Blind Jedi.
I was actually just trying to
Oh,
decide
yeah,
if that
yeah.
was going to be a guess for
I
me.
forgot he was in
Oh
that.
well,
Yeah.
it's not Rogue One, so there's a
Yeah, I
freebie.
know, thank
There's a
you.
freebie. But that's who he is, right? In that movie, he's like the
Yes.
Blind Jedi.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh fuck,
Well, he's
that's
not
such
a
a
Jedi.
good
He's just like a
Force
he's just
sensitive
a
or
Jedi.
Yeah.
whatever he could do. He could.
He
I don't know.
believes in the Jedi because at that point the Jedi were largely extinct and considered like a legend.
Jade says they know what the movie is, so don't read the chat.
Yeah,
well, they
I
put a
have
fake
Google
answer in the
too, right?
chat, but
No.
damn, Todd's calling you out. Todd said you're a fucking Google machine. Any other guesses for tier 3?
Nah,
Yeah,
don't
why
even-
use
I'm
my
not gonna waste my
guesses?
time just shooting out things.
15. I want to make one more guess
Mm-hmm.
Go for it.
to get it out of the way. But I don't know if I can do it off the top of my head right now. Inside Out?
Incorrect. We move
Yeah,
on.
that's a good guess. I couldn't tell you what Pixar movies came out when.
Yeah, I just wanted to get that like
Fair.
category out of the way. I think that's 2015. Go ahead.
Mike, you do have one more guess if you want to throw something out there before we move on.
2015. Yeah. No, I'm not gonna. I'll just be wasting my time trying to think of
Okay.
movies that I think came
Okay.
out at the same time. It doesn't matter.
So for
I also need to get better at like what a heavy budget is versus what a light budget is now.
mhm.
Yeah.
It's so different. Yeah, like
Yeah.
from back then. Yeah, it's all over the place.
So for tier 2, I will give you the option. You can get the full date plus either genre or rating.
No directing. It's direct. Was it directed tier 2 or was that tier 3?
No, we did that for the other thing we did, where it was
Oh,
like
okay.
the game that you guys were fucking smashing out of the park every time I did anything.
Oh, okay. Yeah, just give me director. All right. So what are the two things you can get?
So you
We
will
can either
get,
get full date or
full date plus
Full-
either the rating or
Yes. Yeah. I feel
the
like full
genre.
date doesn't even matter Because like,
I think time of the year definitely
It could.
definitely I think affects what
I
it
think
could
I'd
be.
prefer the genre. I don't know about you guys.
yeah, same.
Genre, yeah, I think I like genre better. Full Date is just gonna tell me if it was a summer blockbuster or not,
Yeah, exactly.
No, it could
Or
tell
like
you if it's a Christmas movie.
Yeah,
or
exactly.
a Christmas movie. Yeah,
Well, you're getting the full date regardless. The choice is either do you want the rating or do you want the genre?
I want the genre.
I think I'd
I-
still prefer
I
the
think
genre.
I can
Yeah.
suss out. I think I can suss out other information
Okay.
like without it.
So the genre for this, let me check one more thing, because where I pulled all of the information for all three of these movies was from the same place, so it was kind of in line in case there were discrepancies elsewhere. I just want to quickly see if I Google this movie what else shows up for genre, because it listed a lot of things and I don't necessarily want to say all of these things because I feel like that's just a very revealing potentially. Let me see this genre. Okay, nope, they put it there too. We're gonna just do it. We're gonna just give you that information. So, released in December 25th, 2015,
Oh, Christmas
With a-
time. It's a big one.
with a budget of 135 and a gross of 533. This action, adventure, drama, history western released.
Action, adventure, drama, history. Christmas 2015.
Action, adventure.
History, drama, western.
Okay.
15.
You said history?
According to where I pulled all my information from, action, adventure, drama, history, western.
All right, I'm
gotta
gonna
be,
take a guess. I'm gonna say Django.
Incorrect.
I'm gonna say
I
something
like it.
stupid that I know is not the answer, but Cowboys and Aliens.
Incorrect.
That was earlier than that. I'm gonna think. I think True Grit came out before that.
Ooh, did it?
Yes.
I think it did. I mean, I'm okay wasting my guess on it. I'll say
Yeah,
I'll
you got a
say
couple
True Grit,
guesses.
but I'm pretty sure that was like a 2010-ish movie, 2011-ish movie.
Is it that old?
Probably.
I've been meaning to watch.
Who
that
was
for
the
a
Who
long
was the
time.
young girl in it?
Haley Steinfeld, whatever
Oh,
her name is.
Jesus.
Yeah. She was like,
I'll
she was like 8 then too. Like, she was
I know.
give you an extra hint. Jory Costanza is not in this movie.
All right.
That helps.
Are you guessing True Grit, Mike?
Yeah, I'm going to just because I said I was going to.
You said
even though I was
sci-fi.
fairly
Did
confident
you
it was
say
wrong.
sci-fi as well, or did I just make that
No.
up?
And
You
with
made that
True Grit, Mike gets no points. It is not
Okay,
True
I
Grit.
got that. History, Western.
Action,
Drama.
adventure, drama, history, western, released on December 25th, 2015 with a budget of $135 million and a gross of $533 million. 2 points on the board for whoever can get this movie.
Is this too
India-
late to be Wild Wild West?
Yeah, way too
Very
late.
too late.
That's like 90s, yeah. Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull.
Incorrect.
I
That's a
don't know
good guess,
what that
though.
was.
I feel like it's too late for that too.
Like,
I
based off of the clues, I don't know, date-wise, I feel like that's a good use of...
I don't know what the date
the
I
was.
clues
believe that one was not a Western outlet. That was took place in the 40s or 50s.
Yeah,
It was like
it
during
was,
the
it
nuclear
was
bomb times.
yeah,
So like,
Yeah.
yeah.
40s. History Western.
Yeah, that's throwing me off. In history, I don't know if that means like it's slightly historically accurate or if
It
it
could
just
just mean
means
that it's
like
a
it just takes place in the
Period
past.
piece. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have one more guess, right? I get 3.
Yes.
Go ahead, guess. I'm waiting for you guys to waste something on it.
Don't worry.
I have one more guess, but
I'm going to throw out a guess. 310 to Yuma.
ooh,
Incorrect.
Yes. Great movie.
I
too.
actually don't know what happened in that movie. I don't know when it came out. I don't remember anything about it. I just know the title.
I want to say it was like 2005, 2008, maybe. I don't know.
I'm gonna guess There Will Be Blood.
Incorrect.
I think that's also. I think the movie came out like way earlier.
I don't have any better guesses at
Yeah,
this point.
that's
I'm
fair.
done. I'm done thinking about Cowboys in my head. So
I'm taking Cowboys out of the equation.
yeah,
Is
well
it
that's why I like went to just like the West instead.
Right. All right. My last guess for this
I think
round.
it's Back to the Future 3.
Wait, don't take my stuff. Is it Lincoln?
Incorrect.
Okay. What year was Lincoln?
That movie was an action adventure.
Oh, yeah. I heard history, and I was.
Oh, but Mike, you still have one more guess.
Abe Lincoln
There
yeah,
you
Abe
go.
Lincoln Vampire Hunter. Let's go.
Did you just say a movie? I don't know.
He did.
Yeah, Abe Lincoln Vampire Hunter was a movie based off of a book, which
It's
I
not
also
your guess.
saw.
It's not your guess.
Yeah,
Abe
I
Lincoln
saw that.
Vampire Hunter D.
I saw that movie also in theaters. I think I won. Did I see that one in New York too? I don't think so.
Who has guesses left for this tier?
Mike,
I have none.
I have no idea.
You
It
did
doesn't-
3 already,
It doesn't
though?
fucking matter.
probably. I'm done guessing.
Okay,
Mike
fair.
has a guess. I'm done guessing this round.
No, don't even worry about it. But 3 Cents of Yuma was like my thing.
All right.
And
We're moving
I was
on.
wrong.
Damn, points just evaporating from potential scoreboard. So, you will now get the
point.
rating and the Rotten Tomatoes score.
I feel like that's still really fucking hard. There's nothing.
I can
that
also
really
give
do-
you like who made the film, not director, but like what like it's a
Studio?
whatever movie. Yeah, studio.
I don't think that matters to me either. I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll see what
Yeah,
happens. It'll be
who
fun.
cares?
So for 1 point, this movie released December 25th, 2015,
Mhm.
with a budget of
Right.
$135, with a gross of
Uh-huh.
$533. This rated R action adventure drama history western
Mhm.
from 20th Century Fox
Mhm.
has a 78% critic and an 84% whatever other one on user on Rotten Tomatoes.
I think this is still. I think this movie made too much for this to be right, but I'm gonna say Hateful Eight.
Incorrect.
Huh.
The Adam Sandler spinoff.
It's rated R.
Ooh.
That was rated R, wasn't it?
Which one?
The
Wasn't it only on
Ridiculous Seven.
Netflix?
Oh no, I don't think that was. It was like PG-13.
So
I think.
there was. Okay, I'm gonna throw out my other guess because there was a Magnificent Seven movie that came out that had
Yeah.
Denzel Washington and Chris Pratt and all that stuff. I
yeah.
believe.
Did
So
not figure
that'll
out
be my
there.
second guess.
Incorrect.
All right.
I
Have
don't
fun,
think
guys.
Brendan.
I-
So like, I'm trying to figure it out, but like, I don't think Brendan would ever pick a movie like that. The Hateful Eight or whatever, or the Magnificent.
We just did a
Seven.
whole movie about Quentin Tarantino. A whole episode, rather. So.
Yeah, right. What was his 2015 movie?
Mike, do not guess a third time yet, unless you think you know it. Fucking shoot for it. But when
I
the other
definitely don't.
when the other two give 2 guesses, I will then reveal one more bit of information. So that way it's a level playing field. I don't want to give this information while
Alright.
they both still have 3, unless you're
Yeah.
fine with that. But I don't. I
What
mean,
rated
No.
R movies? I feel like this should be a little easier knowing that it's rated R because rated R movies don't gross that large
or
usually, unless it's like a big
go ahead. You gonna say something?
Deadpool.
Incorrect.
History Western.
Oh fuck! Yeah. I keep on thinking- I'm so far removed from that I'm like,
Unless Dom wants to guess once and we give back Mike 2 guesses, I can reveal.
fine,
The-
give back Mike another guess.
No, do whatever. I don't. This is a disaster.
I think you got to go director second round.
Second
or
round
like a-
director? No way.
Or a low grade actor that's not like in the high billing,
Not
like
top
just like
note.
Yeah.
Just somebody
All
just
right,
happens
for the
to be
next
there.
2 movies, we
You
will
like
we will
stumbled on set.
reevaluate some of these tiers maybe. tier 3 is still going to be
Um,
limited. Like you can't just be scooping out 3 points.
No,
You know what I mean?
100%.
I don't know. I guess my guess for this is going to be No Country for Old Men because I guess
Yes, that's a good
there will
guess.
be
But I
blood.
think that was earlier.
All right.
Yeah.
Incorrect. The guest pool is eliminated anyway because we're on tier 1. There shouldn't even be a guest limit. I mean, obviously, don't just ramble out fucking
Yeah.
movies. You know, be a little fair. But I'll reveal this other information. This movie was nominated for 12 Oscars. I think we did do awards last time, and I didn't do it this time. It was nominated for 12 Oscars and
Yes,
it won.
you did because you gave us like some random
Like
award
if it was a
and
bad
that
movie or
usually
something.
helped us.
Yes. So I'll do that for tier 2 on the next 2 movies. I'll add the awards into it. So this movie was nominated for 12 Oscars and it won 3 of them.
I'm gonna say The Revenant.
Mike gets the
Oh,
fucking point,
there you
baby.
go.
There you go. It's always connected. Always connected.
What's always connected?
Just fucking on what we just did, like the movie we picked. And
Yeah, I wouldn't have been able to come up with that.
Took you a while to get to a fucking Leo movie.
I know. I didn't. I kept on thinking. I don't know why I couldn't get Cowboys and Aliens out of my head, even though it's not rated R.
It was so weird
So-
that you were
It's
stuck
just-
on that movie when we said
I don't know
history
why.
and we said
I don't
history.
know why. I was like, oh,
We
because it's in
never
the
said
West, is that
sci-fi.
history?
So, like, has anyone seen this movie?
Yeah.
The Revenant? No,
Is
I've not.
that genre description accurate? Is it a historical movie?
I guess.
I think it's
yeah.
about a real person.
Oh, okay. So if you just Google the Revenant genre, it also says thriller and survival. But I feel like if
That
I
makes
also said those things, that's just way too much
I probably still
information.
wouldn't have got it. Because what's his name? Hardy's so good in that movie as the bad guy.
Jay does make a good point. Hateful Eight is a great guess because it qualifies under a
It
few
is.
criteria of
Yeah.
what you all think I do, which is, have a theme.
It's based on the 1915 poem The Song of Hugh Glass and describes frontiersman Hugh Glass's experience in 1823. He is a real historical fur trapper.
The Hateful Eight also came out in 2015. It was also
did.
rated
Oh,
R.
wow,
Like,
what a
it was a
fucking-
lot of things that
What a fucking
would
guess.
fit in.
Did anyone actually
74
guess
Rotten
it?
Tomato. What?
Yeah, Mike guessed it.
The Hateful
Mike
Eight?
did,
That was
yeah. Yeah,
that was
Mike-
my
that was
round
like-
2 pick.
Oh, okay. All right. Movie number 2. I'm going to just pull up some other information ahead of time that we spoke about. So for tier number 1, or tier 3 for 3 points eligible, this movie, this is what I'll do. I will add rating into tier 3. So get rating, year, budget, gross. For tier 2,
Okay.
you will get genre,
Awards?
award consideration, full date. And for tier 3, you'll get Rotten Tomatoes and, I don't know, some sort of actor, director, or something. Whatever can be somewhat beneficial, but not super, like pointed. So this PG-13 movie released
I got it.
in 1997 with a budget of $40 million and a gross of $54.87 million.
Oh god damn it! I have a guess, but I don't know how ridiculous of a guess this is.
97. Where was I? All right. Sophomore in high
97,
school.
50. So wait, budget of
I'm just
40,
gonna do
gross
it.
of 50. Okay.
Do it. Let's do it.
I'm just gonna do it. Is it Wild Wild West?
No, but could you imagine if I fucking... Could you imagine? I
think
need to
Wild
see
Wild
what...
West came out in 99.
Did it?
I
I
Okay.
think Wild Wild West came out in 99.
I knew it was
Um,
late 90s. When he said it didn't make a lot of money, I was like, oh, fuck, is it Wild Wild
No,
West?
Yeah, it was
No
99.
way, no way Wild West made 54, though. It definitely made more than that.
Yeah.
There's no way.
So
Even for the bomb
budget
that
of
it was.
40, gross of 57. You said
54.87.
54.87.
You said
okay.
PG-13 and
And
97.
PG-13,
Wild
1997.
Wild West made 222.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. So this is definitely not Titanic. Titanic came out the same year, but it made substantially more and probably
made
cost more.
A lot of money.
I swear,
is it-
budget will only help us.
Oh,
I mean, not budget.
PG-13. Oh,
Gross
okay.
will only
That's
help us for the more than $1 billion, because like there's like 5 movies. Actually, it's a little bit longer. It might be 7 movies.
I can't think of anything 97. 99 was The Matrix, so I'm like trying to like work my way.
97,
down. Oh,
97 was Titanic. That's all I can tell you.
Yeah.
97 was definitely Titanic.
yeah, and it clearly is not Titanic.
We
so it's like-
decided
It has-
last
it has
week
to be
or
a
a
bad
couple weeks
movie.
ago. When did Blade come out? Was that 97 as well?
I think it was 98.
that did more
Okay.
than 54 million though.
No. I'm just trying to give us more of a
Oh, yeah,
time
yeah,
frame.
yeah.
Time frame for films, yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
like-
Blade was
I-
98, Titanic 97.
PG-13. PG-13 is what throws me for a loop. You know, like
Oh yeah, PG-13 too.
yeah, you have to like factor out so many movies with PG-13.
Yeah, I think PG-13, given it didn't do well, I guess I could try and think of like all the movies that did poorly in 97.
Right.
I don't think I can pull it off. I think I would need to know
I keep
The
on thinking of
genre.
R-rated movies, even though
or something.
it's going to be a comedy for a $40
Yeah.
million budget. It's like it has to be a comedy. 97. All right, let's do.
A comedy that didn't make a lot of
97.
money either.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
and
I'm
there's
sure that
There's plenty of comedies though that are like well received now that didn't do that well in theaters back then too.
yeah.
When was
I'm gonna go with
Brendan just started getting a smirk on his face. When
gonna go
was
with
the
Billy Madison.
Incorrect.
Billy Zap Madison might have been a little bit earlier than that, but that's not.
Yeah, I want to say that was earlier, but yeah.
You were gonna say something. You say when was?
Yeah, I'm trying to piece it in my head to see if it doesn't make sense because it should have made more money. When was the first Austin Powers?
Austin Powers is probably
That-
the right answer to be honest with you.
It's probably the.
I don't think it
it's
made a
like
lot. That was
the right
that was a close
date
hit.
range. I
The
think
second-
97 makes sense. I think that
The
was
second
the first one.
the second one and third one has made all the money. The first one was like not a big blockbuster. I feel like it
I
did
know the
Really?
second. Here's
Yeah,
what
I'm
I'm
They
pretty
gonna
would
say.
have
The
had to
second
make
one-
money to make a second one.
Here's what I'm gonna
But
say
I-
about the
but-
second one. The
I
second
think
one
it
must
was
have come
word
out
of
around the
mouth
same
after-
time as the Phantom Menace, because like the marketing kind of made
99.
it seem like, yeah.
Austin Powers, International Man of Mystery.
By Who Shagged Me.
Is that your guess? Is that both of your guesses?
Wait, which one?
I
Which one's the first
already
one?
guessed. The first one is. I think you're right with the first one.
International
First one
Man
is
of Mystery.
International Man of Mystery. Is that your guess?
That's my guess.
Is
Yeah.
incorrect.
Mike, guess the second one.
Spy Who
It's
Shagged Me. I mean,
incorrect.
I can. I don't care.
It's incorrect.
No way, because the second one definitely made more money than 50, but I don't know about the first one. Someone Google that now. I'm really curious.
I want to Google it just to see when it came out because
I think you're right. I think it was 97. But yeah, it definitely didn't make.
Did you already Google it,
4
Tom?
million.
it was 97.
What did it make for money though?
I would be
67.
careful.
The budget was only 60.
I would be careful Googling movie years in case suggested movies pop up for that year.
I'm not Googling. I'm literally typing
just-
film into Wikipedia.
Gotcha. Are there any
Next
more
round.
guesses left for tier 3?
I don't know if that
No.
might actually help us though.
What,
No, I don't have any more guesses.
Mike?
So Austin Powers only cost
I don't
$16
know.
million to make.
Oh my god, I think I know the answer to this. Oh no, it's no PG-13. Never mind. Well,
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead with the tier 2.
Yeah, I feel like still gaining information from other movies during rounds could potentially be
But
I feel
I'm
like
giving
it
that
throws-
information
I feel
to
like it-
everybody.
I
okay.
feel like
That's
it
fair,
throws me off more.
but it's still I don't know. We'll see.
No, I get
We'll
what
see.
you're saying.
So this PG-13 movie released in August 1st, 1997, with a budget of $40 million and a gross of just shy of $55 million. It is
I feel like
an
it was left to die in August. Go ahead.
Right,
is
yeah,
an
for real.
not a good time to release a movie.
action drama horror movie that was nominated for
A Razzie?
actually no Razzies. It was nominated for,
An MTV award or something.
I won't say the categories, but I will say it was nominated for a Saturn Award. It was nominated
Yeah.
for a Blockbuster Entertainment Award, and it was nominated for 2 different Fangoria Chainsaw Awards.
Yep, that makes sense because you said it was a horror film.
There was a lot of PG-13 horror movies back then too. Oh, all right. Wait, can I guess?
Yeah.
I'll get 3 again, right? Oh wait, yeah. No, okay. I'll go with this. No, is that rated R or PG-13? Fuck. Okay, never mind. Hold on. I gotta hold on. I don't think that was PG-13.
I mean, I can give you another clue here if everyone wants one more clue.
I mean, I'm cool if everyone else wants one.
Yeah, it doesn't matter to me.
This is
Clue might help
this
me.
is
Right
more
now,
of
I definitely
a
don't have anything.
this is more of a film specific clue, but this movie does have an R-rated version that was released after for home video.
But it was PG-13 in the theaters, so
Correct.
like that's
1997.
Yes.
1997. That seems like it would be too much money.
Yeah, it's like
I have a guess,
this
but
isn't a guess because it's
the
rated
budget
R. But I
seems
was like,
too high.
I know what you
Okay,
did last
here's what I'm
time.
gonna
I was
say.
thinking it was that, but then I was like, wait, no, it's not. Fucking, it's not.
Oh wait, now I have another guess too.
I
Oh,
have a.
I'm gonna actually guess. Oh wait, no, wait, that movie made way more.
How many
Go ahead.
times is everyone going to do this? I have a guess. Wait.
I
You have 3
I
What
gave
was,
up.
guesses.
the category? I mean, what were the
August
the
1st,
genres
1997, PG-13,
Horror.
budget of 40, just shy of 55
Horror
worldwide.
drama,
Action, drama, horror.
action drama.
drama?
On VHS, DVD, and Laserdisc, it got a rated R director's cut.
Laserdisc.
It got a rated R director's cut.
Resident
Okay,
Evil.
so
Incorrect.
I think that came out later.
I think
So I was
Yeah,
asking for the
okay.
genre because I'm like, if it had any sci-fi in it, I'm still gonna throw out this guess because it's the only thing that makes sense to me in terms of low grossage and it being horror. I'm gonna say The Faculty.
Incorrect.
It's rated R. It's rated R. That's what I
It
was
was
gonna
rated
say
R
exactly,
from
yeah. Disturbing
I have-
behavior rated R. Like all those movies, like rated R. So it's like I have to erase all those out of my mind because I saw all those. Scream was around the same time. I think it was like 98, maybe.
Yeah, I thought
like-
Scream too, but that was definitely rated R, like straight.
Yeah,
to
they're all
theaters,
rated
right?
R. They're all rated R. Yes.
All right,
Like, all those
I'm gonna
movies-
take a guess, and it might be a waste of a guess because I feel like it shouldn't have cost this much money to make. But my guess is gonna be Donnie Darko.
Incorrect.
It's rated R. Rated R.
Is it rated R?
Rated
The
R.
the
Yeah.
theater version?
Yeah.
Because I knew they came out with that second version.
Yep. It's rated R. Fuck.
How many guesses does everyone have left in this round?
I feel like I have 2. Maybe how many? Maybe, I don't know.
If
Maybe
we have
I'll say I
3,
have
then
1.
I've got 2 left.
I'll say I have 1. I don't know. I think I only guessed once.
I won't use them, but I.
I'm probably gonna only guess one more time, anyways. But
Yeah, I don't have much to go off of, so I don't think I'm gonna. PG-13 is the hardest thing.
all right, this is too early for AVP, right?
Oh my
Way
god!
too
I think
early.
Okay.
I mean, I think it's way too early. I could be wrong, but I feel like it's too early.
no, I think that's around that. Oh, maybe you're right. Maybe
Did it
it's
come?
too early.
No, I feel like
I
it
feel like
came out early
AVP came out in the
2000s.
early 2000s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is the guy that I hate in this movie who played the Joker in the Zack Snyder movies?
I don't know who that is.
Jared Leto.
Jared Leto.
Also, I feel like AVP would also get the sci-fi tag. That's what I'm thinking.
Yes,
I'm
true.
thinking-
True.
I feel like
I don't know.
Casey-
AVP might not have. It
The
probably
two
would've-
antagonists are both aliens.
I know, but
They're
it wasn't.
both-
Actually, that movie might not have got the horror tag because it was just straight them duking it out.
Wait, there's no way it's The Ring because I feel like The Ring came out
Ooh.
later. But like the Ring did not make 54 million. The Ring did really, really well. Like that
Yeah,
was.
I think
Yeah.
all the horror
And I also
films-
don't think The Ring would have cost that much money to make.
No, maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that movie
Like, I'm not-
definitely did well.
I'm not a horror guy, but I feel like all the horror films, with the exception of The Faculty, that I can think of, were all movies that did well and
So
got
around
sequels.
that time period was like Disturbing Behavior, Scream, The Faculty. Like those were the big R-rated horror movies during that time period. Like because that was like my genre during that.
PG-13.
I don't know
It
PG-13
cost
though.
$40 million to make.
And barely made back the budget. Barely.
Yeah. I'll go to the next round. I give up. I don't have any more guesses at this point.
Yeah, I got nothing.
Is this? Oh, fuck. I'm gonna throw one more guess out there. 1997.
There's a movie I'm thinking of that's PG-13. It's a horror, but I can't remember the name of it.
I'm gonna go with Signs.
Ooh, good
Incorrect.
guess.
Signs also made a lot of money, and also I think would get a sci-fi tag.
I'm just at the point
I
where
know you're throwing things out.
Yeah.
I think Signs did very well.
I'm pretty
Okay.
sure Signs was like 2000.
I wasn't sure if Signs was one of those movies that everyone liked after.
Signs is 02. No, I remember like Signs. I feel like a lot of people like some people didn't like it, but like I feel like most people that I saw it with like enjoyed it.
Are we moving on?
Yep.
Yes.
So, this PG-13 August 1st, 1997 film with a budget of 40, gross of just over 55 million basically. Action, drama, horror. Re-released, or when it released on home video, rated R. From New Line Cinema. With a critic score of 17% and a user score of 36%.
Makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense with a PG-13 horror movie.
That also means that nobody liked it afterwards.
Yes. I have a movie
gonna give us more?
from that time period, and like I can't remember the name of the movie, and I know what it's based on. Like, oh, is it? I'm gonna use a guess actually.
Sure.
Do you want to wait until to see if he's going to give us more?
Well, I get 3 guesses right. I'll give this for Urban Legend.
Incorrect. I feel like if I give
Oh,
the
yeah, I remember
director, is not going to be beneficial to anyone.
No, definitely not for that.
Not for a horror movie from the 90s, the late 90s.
And
Unless
I-
it's
That did very
fucking-
poorly.
And I
Unless
feel
it-
like
yeah.
if I give, I mean, obviously there's
Any
a point
actors?
in here where I don't know who any of these actors are, but I feel like if I give any of the names of people that I do know, it is going to be very
I still
pointed.
feel like it's gonna be tough.
I will give you the third build actor.
Yeah, do that.
Okay.
I feel like if I do, it's just going to be whoever says the movie first.
Alright. I'm kind of lost on this one. So
Because
Not for nothing,
because
I'm-
the last time we did this, you gave us Mila Kunis, and it was fucking Max Payne.
All right, fair.
yeah, right. That is true. Actually,
I will just give you an actor from the film,
Okay.
regardless of how much of the film they're in.
Okay.
Martin Sheen.
Weird. Is it Max Payne? Wasn't he in Max Payne?
Martin Sheen.
A PG-13 horror movie with Martin Sheen. That's a tough one right there. Because he's like a.
I feel like this is definitely, yeah, it's too early because we decided the first Scream would have come out around then, right?
Yeah, and it's not. Those are all R. And
No,
Martin Sheen-
I know, but I was thinking like, oh, if it's Martin Sheen like as a bit piece, I wonder if it's one of the Scary Movies, but the Scream
way.
movies would have had to come out first,
Martin Sheen wouldn't even.
I also think the Scream movies did well.
and it
Yeah,
would have
and
gotten
Mar-
a comedy tag.
Martin Sheen
Yeah.
wouldn't think himself to that. Like he's not like Charlie
Yeah.
Sheen. He's fucking like Apocalypse Now or whatever the. He's like
I don't know,
president
but
of the United
late
States.
'90s at that point, I guess you're right. He still probably wouldn't have.
So he had to have been confident in that.
Actually,
movie.
Charlie
It's-
Sheen was in the Scary Movies, wasn't he?
Yes, yeah, he was in like
It was,
4,
yeah.
I think. 3 or 4.
Here's
I
what I'm
don't
trying to make sense of is that at the bare minimum, I think Brendan is familiar enough with the film to realize if he were to name the
Agreed.
top billed actor, he would be giving it away. That's my
I don't know if
assumption.
he would though at this point. With Martin Sheen, now I'm lost. 'cause,
I mean,
like,
I've seen this
can't-
movie. There's a clue.
Yeah, I mean that means nothing because that's
I
so
That means
far
there's
off.
that means there's some sort of romance in this movie.
I mean,
Of
I
course.
think I can confidently say I think all of us have seen this movie.
Oh
Yeah,
god
I'm
damn
sure.
it!
But if it's
That
that
was
low
on
rated-
another line of thinking, but there's no reason that all of us would have seen the movie that I was thinking of.
If we all
Me-
haven't seen it, we all know this movie.
I don't know. Oh, maybe yeah. Because I was watching fucking R movies back then. Because I was
Oh
like,
wait,
30 years old.
1997, but that should still have a comedy tag to it.
What were you thinking?
1997.
And the director would never mind.
Martin
I can
Sheen.
give you.
It was so I'll let you guys know that I was thinking Mars Attacks.
Oh, that's a good guess.
Yeah, they would also have
I can
It
give
would have
you.
a comedy
That's
tag,
an excellent-
and the director would
and
point
a
us.
sci-fi tag, I think.
Yeah.
I feel like that made more than 50 though. Unfortunately, like
It didn't do well. I know that.
it didn't do well, but I don't think 50.
Yeah.
I can
Go
give
ahead,
you artists that appeared on the movie soundtrack.
Sure.
I'm interested in that. I don't think it's an album, but I'm interested in it.
I was a big soundtrack guy back then, so this could work in my favor.
I'm just going to read the bands involved or musicians involved, not titles, in order of how this is listed. Orbital, Incubus, Marilyn Manson,
87.
Silverchair, Metallica, The Prodigy,
Huh.
Filter,
Oh, is it the
808 State versus Manson. That's it.
PG-13
Oh,
is
never
like
mind.
just ruining this whole thing for me.
yeah?
And I probably saw it because I don't think I was old enough to fucking see R-rated movies at that point by myself at the theater.
Trivia. This actor, not Martin Sheen, a different actor, ate live waxworms on pizza for this film. He then vomited immediately after the take was wrapped.
Random.
Quote from the movie. I'm going to cut you into 50 pieces and mail you to every state.
Still nothing.
I like the quote.
50 pieces.
I'm going to start reading more movie quotes until someone gets
just
it
do
right.
it. Yeah, I'm like very curious.
What a pretty little dress. I wonder if she's it in my size. I can't read the next one. I think that's I can't read that one.
Give it away.
Where did you get these movies from? Like, what made you find, like, were you looking for something in particular? Or
What do you mean, Todd? They're all connected. There was a Leonardo DiCaprio movie. What's next? What's happening now?
Oh, that's true. I completely
That is
forgot
not
about
what's
that.
happening.
Right.
I have ways.
system.
I have
It's a
ways of
system.
doing this.
Do you ask AI? Pick me 3 movies.
Is it AI?
No.
That was like 99 or 2000.
I'm just kidding. It
Our
wasn't,
movie's so
yeah.
good.
wasn't a horror movie either, was it?
No.
Quote. Imitating Jimmy Stewart. Well, every time someone farts, a demon gets his wings. Farts twice. Oops, twins.
Wait, that's like from the
Oh,
movie?
and this
Yes.
is not a comedy you're selling me.
I know. I keep wanting it to be like Men in Black.
That sounds like Dogma-ish, which doesn't make sense.
Not a horror movie.
Yeah, I don't think
Also,
Martin
he
Sheen's in it.
said if I told you the director, it wouldn't matter. Like,
Yeah.
Tell us the
we
director
definitely
at
know
this
the
point.
director of Dog.
We know.
Sure, I'll
we
tell
know
you the
okay.
director. Let me go back. The director was Mark A.Z. Dippy.
Oh, okay, I got it.
You made that up.
No.
Director Mark. Maybe it's Dippe. I don't know. It's Dippe with a accent over it.
Brian's really leaning into this bed. He's like making up a spelling and everything.
Let's see. Mark A.Z. Dippe was born in
Is it
1956.
an animated film?
No, in Tokyo. He is known for this movie, Jurassic Park, and The Abyss. His roles in those other movies were not directing, obviously.
Okay.
Yeah.
Abyss is so good too. I forgot about that movie. That's James Cameron. That's like one of his first ones.
Wow, what did Cameron and Spielberg, and he made whatever this is? Where
Yeah,
people are farting and making
The
demons?
fart demon movie.
Oops, twins.
Yeah, what? Wait. All right, give us another actor, because I don't think any of us are ever going to get this.
I forgot that we got an actor to begin with.
I know,
Martin
it's
Sheen's
Martin
in this
Sheen.
movie.
I know.
Martin
Doesn't make
Sheen.
sense.
Let's see. Can I give you? Who can
Martin
I give
Sheen's
you
in the
here?
fart demon movie.
He's one. That's his line.
Who can I give you? Who?
He's the
can
one
I
that
give
delivers
you?
the masterpiece of Oops Twins.
Brendan
Sure.
read the quick info. He goes, every time I fart, a demon gets his wing.
I feel like you could give us a big
Twins.
name in this movie and we might still not
This
even know it.
this movie also has John Leguizamo in it.
Oh, is it Spawn?
It is indeed Spawn. This is why I don't give you
Nice,
actors.
There you go. There you go.
And
I
it is
mean, I
and
wouldn't
it's
guess
John
that.
Leguizamo that says
He's a bad guy.
because he's
He plays
clown.
the clown.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was reading
Yes,
clown quotes. Those were the quotes I was reading.
Wait, that movie was PG-13? See, I would have never guessed that movie was PG-13.
got-
That wouldn't even been on my radar.
It got a rated R release
Yeah.
after.
Yeah. I was going to say, see, I would have never guessed that.
Where did it say? Hi, hold on.
Would
let me
Mike
go back
get
to
booked with her?
This is like never mind. Wait, what'd you say? Mike got a point
Did
for that.
Mike get,
Yeah, he got
did
one
he get
point.
both?
He,
did
Mike
he get
is
both
Mike
points?
is going for the
Did he
sweep.
get the... Okay, there we
Mike
go.
is going for the sweep here. Movie number 3.
Oh, Martin Sheen was the third ranked actor in that film.
Yeah.
I don't know who he played in. I don't remember any. I only remember that John Leguizamo was there.
Did we
That's the
all
only
see
actor
Spawn?
I
What,
remember.
what
We've
was
all
the-
seen this
I've
movie,
definitely
right?
seen it.
Yeah.
I've definitely
Michael-
seen it.
You know Michael Jai White's in that movie.
Okay, so
I
if you
know
said
he's
Michael
in
Jai
it,
White,
but,
maybe
like-
that would have rang a bell. That's the only thing that would ring a bell, I think.
I mean, John Leguizamo plays fucking clown.
Violator.
No,
Does
I
he
know.
voice Violator too or no?
Violator.
No, he plays clown in fucking prosthetics.
Isn't the clown? Isn't his name Violator? Isn't the
Yeah.
clown's name Violator?
I mean, they're the same thing,
They're the same.
but they're
thing,
like two different
Like,
like two different like visual things. Like
oh,
clown is like a big dude.
yeah. I know.
Violator's
I
like
know,
the
but
big
in-
skinny like I don't know demon thingy.
I don't know. In my mind, if you would show me a picture of the clown from Spawn and said, "What's that character's name?" I would have been like, "Oh, I think it's Violator." Like that's just how it's in my head.
Fair. Let me just pull this up because we added a new information for the movies. Okay. Movie number 3, tier 3 points. This what did we decide on the last one? We did rating
said
rating
director.
rating in year? Rating year and budget gross? Is that what we did?
Maybe.
Yeah, I think so.
This PG-13 movie released in 2011. Todd, again, you're saying and you knew the last movie, you just couldn't get the answer. So,
Yeah, but I still watch PG-13 movies.
okay.
I, you said PG-13 and you told us the movie was Spawn, and I still cannot make Spawn a PG-13 movie. In my
At
mind.
97, they were more lenient. I don't fucking know. This PG-13 movie released in 2011 with a budget of 50 million and a gross of 110 million.
Success. It's a great success. Wait, what was the year again?
2011.
2011.
2011. I already forget. I lost all the information.
2011 PG-13.
50 million, 110.
50, 110, yeah.
5110. So yeah, it
It-
at least did double.
Yeah. It was a success.
Oh, PG-13. Fuck, I keep on... every time I think of a movie,
Actually,
I'm like...
not necessarily, because it's
Not
1.5,
necessarily.
right?
1.5 is what you're gunning for.
Yeah.
2011 PG-13, not quite a success. Made money, but not quite a bang-up job. Date-wise, I believe this is wrong, but I feel like throwing out a guess. I'm gonna say Speed Racer.
Incorrect.
What was the date again? 2011? Oh, yeah.
Yes.
So,
Speed Racer was probably 09 now that I think about it.
I feel like Speed Racer didn't make any money. I don't think anyone was seeing that movie.
I think it did
Did not do
okay.
well.
It didn't do well?
Did it?
I thought it
I
did
don't think
okay.
so.
I think
I think
it.
I saw that in
consider it a
theaters.
flop.
I don't know who that
I was there.
audience for. All right, so the movie's 1997. It's a horror. It has Martin Sheen.
2011, I have to do things in terms of MCU because like that's just the way the world works. But I also
Oh,
think that
Yo, do MCU numbers.
I
for,
think the
like,
last couple
railroad.
Harry Potter films were coming out around that time, which
That's what I was
should
trying to
line
do.
up.
That's what I was trying to do is see if it could be one of the later Harry Potter movies that was just
No,
like
those
we need
movies
to.
made way more than 110
yeah.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah, all of those movies made over like 200 to 300. There's no way they're even in the running for it.
Yeah, the Harry Potters and I forget which Twilight movie would have been out. I think that's around the time of Captain America because Captain America was the last one before 2012's Avengers. But that's all I got.
Well, I thought that because Captain America, all those movies did really well.
They did not. I mean, I'm not 100%.
No, they did
certain
like
they all did.
200 million.
That might be true.
Dark World would have been in there, right?
Dark World is after Avengers.
Was it after Avengers?
I'm gonna go with. I have zero. I have no guess. I have nothing.
Are we moving on to tier 2 points?
I'm good with that. If you guys are.
I'll give one more clue for this tier, since no one seems to have anything to say.
11 PG-13.
This movie was nominated for 6 Oscars,
Oh wow, good for them.
so you can rule out a lot of the things you've been saying.
I don't even know. PG-13 in the Oscar running. Oh, what year is it? 2001? No, that's definitely not that year. I don't know. I got nothing.
Yeah, I'll just go to the second thing.
Just go to
Okay. This PG-13 Oscar-nominated film was released on September 23rd, 2011, with a budget of $50 million, with a gross of $110 million. This biography drama from Sony Pictures.
Hey?
Hmm?
Ray?
No. I am leaving one
I don't know why
genre
that goes
tag
out.
off because I feel like it is too specific. I will reveal it on the final point.
Ray was PG-13 though, right? I don't even know now. Like,
probably. It might have been PG, but I feel like it was PG-13.
yeah, it's gotta be PG-13.
Unless, no, that doesn't make sense. That movie came out way before that.
What were you gonna guess?
Well, so I
I'm gonna
said
guess another
Ray.
guess.
Ray must have been PG-13 because of all the. I was gonna say death. But like, you know what? I might be thinking about Dewey Cox. I might be thinking about Dewey Cox's brother dying.
Walk the line? Is it walk?
Yeah, Walk Hard or yeah,
No,
Walk
walk
Hard.
the line. The real one. I'm talking
Oh,
about
the
the
real
real
one.
one.
Incorrect.
That's cool.
The one that like Joaquin Phoenix and didn't he get nominated for that?
Probably.
Anyway, what I was getting at was when I started thinking about Dewey Cox, I'm like, is it possible that Brendan is leaving out the comedy tag because if he said that, it would be like, oh, biography, whatever, it must be Dewey Cox.
Dewey Cox didn't get
But
nominated. for Oscar, yeah.
I don't. Oh yeah, it's true. I forgot about the Oscar noms.
Well,
I was gonna
last.
say he might be leaving out like a fighting tag, like martial arts tag. Is it Ali?
Oscar.
Incorrect.
What year? What you said? 2011, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I can't do
Ali-
years and
Ali
biographies
came
at
out
this
like
point.
Ali might have come out,
Earlier
like,
than that.
03,
Yeah.
03, 04.
Oh, was it that late?
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. I
Incorrect.
don't know what year that was.
That was also like early 2000s.
That's all my guesses. That's what I thought too. That's all my guesses.
Did I guess anything this round besides almost saying Dewey Cox? I don't think so, right?
No.
Why were we picking it was just biography, right? That you said?
Biography drama.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Oh, see, I forgot about biography then. So that was just a dumb guess.
Biography drama 2011.
Oh my god, how did I fuck this up? I don't get any more guesses right now, right?
probably don't have anything.
Your mic is closing on tier 2, Dom?
That should have made more money. That's too late.
I feel like I have a guess, but I feel like it might be past the window of what I want to guess. But I don't have any more guesses this round. So.
Yeah, I'm probably just gonna pass. I don't.
All right. 1 point eligibility. This 2011, September 23rd, 2011, PG-13 movie, 50 million budget, 110 million gross. Biography, drama. One more thing. Sony Pictures, with a Rotten Tomato score of 94% critic, 86 score audience.
It's not 8 Mile, is it?
Incorrect.
Okay. I don't know what
That
year
movie came out in
was.
like
That's
2000.
Yeah, I
It
don't
was
know.
in
That's what I'm saying.
2003.
Okay.
This movie has Chris Pratt in it.
2011 Chris Pratt. Was he a stand-in?
The young Chris Pratt.
I mean, he's not a top billed actor. I will tell you that.
It's a young Chris Pratt. That was before Take Me Home Tonight. I think.
The biography thing I got to keep in my head. I keep on like going to other movies, and then I'm like,
The final genre tag is sport.
Oh, I know
Is
it.
it
It's
Moneyball?
Moneyball. Fuck.
Mike said it first. Mike gets the fucking sweep. It is
Let's
indeed
go.
Moneyball.
I never saw that movie. I wouldn't fucking know.
wait, really?
I didn't know it was in that movie.
That leaves the week with Dom at 42, Todd at 31, Mike at 26. Mike with the sweep, gaining ground on Todd.
What was the second movie again? Spawn.
Spawn. It was The Revenant, Spawn, Moneyball.
Spawn.
So you got
I was trying to
Leo,
connect them all.
Brad
to,
Pitt.
Yeah.
Brad Pitt. Yeah, I fucked up. Yeah, I knew it.
and
I
a
was like,
movie in
too
between
close.
that's not connected to the either of them.
Yep.
I had predicted that you guys were gonna get Revenant quickly and then assume that all the movies were gonna either have Brad Pitt or Leo or whatever something in
No,
it.
don't give us your fucking method now. Like,
It's
there's no
different
way.
every week. It's not the same.
No.
It's not the same.
Listen,
It's different every week. I get different ways of concocting this setup. Sometimes they won't be related at all. I also thought it was funny. Towards the end of the episode, Todd brought The Revenant up, and I was like, "Fuck, do I need to switch these movies around?" And I said,
Right.
"No, fuck it. We're gonna let it ride."
I would have never guessed that though.
But anyways, that just about does it for this week's episode 236. PTC Movie Club, Pass the Controller Podcasts. I don't know. Follow us everywhere. Listen to us. Leave us a review. Do all those lovely things. Share us on social media. Make sure you follow everyone here at Big Room, at
Is that a
Mycopath.
3-hour episode?
That's a long fucking episode. We're getting there. Yeah.
Yeah,
The movie game was very long. That took way longer than anything else. I'm pretty sure we wrapped up the episode at about like an hour 30 something. And yeah, so movie game. We got to figure out how to streamline that a little bit more. Until next time.